Good appropriate time of the day to you, friends and enemies. I am Richard, and this is LMTDDMFFR, or say it with me now. Limited time offer, no vowels. And how are you today? Hope you are all doing well. Oh, you should not be there. Alright. Yes, I know that. You should not be there yet. I have not activated you, there, sound alerts thing. But yes, I am slowly building things that I wanted to put on there. Sound alerts is a thing that you can add on where people can send sounds or use sounds during gameplay by pushing buttons to make me hear things. So that was one of the things I've added. So now you've spoiled the surprise there, sound alerts bot. Curse you. Oh well, you were not meant to be active at all. So, hey, never mind. You sit there and do a thing. So how are we all doing today? I hope you are doing well. I am doing reasonably well. And I'm going to put on the sound here so that you can hear this reasonably creepy music in the background here. Somewhat appropriate. Yes, if you haven't seen the title, we are playing today the Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York thing. Which, as far as I understand, is not exactly point and click, but choose your own adventure in the same way as a choose your own adventure or fighting fantasy or however else you play it. And I should say, let me bring up the store page and read the description here. Just on the off chance, because this is a Vampire the Masquerade game, there are usually adult themes in it, and this game includes offensive language, violence, drug addiction references, alcohol addiction, black humor, blasphemy, characters with extreme opinions, critique of ideology and religion. So, if any of that is not your thing, sorry, this might not be the particular game for you. Be aware of it. Indeed, choose your own Sunday. Make sure that your Sunday is your own. Well, let's flip on over to the screen so that you can see it. There's me. There's the vampires. I'm sorry you've got a lot of mosquito bites and are generally itchy. Have you been somewhere where there are lots of mosquitoes? Like, outside? I don't really recommend outside. There's not a lot out there that you would really like. Still, here we go. Alright, here we have an exciting screen, and look, you can see, even though it's a static picture, look, the smoke is rising off the cigarette. Ooh, how exciting, dynamic backgrounds. So, and look, a wolf, and ghouls and things, and probably lots of things underneath here that we can't see. Ah, you're not sure why you're the only one getting bit. Well, did you leave your window open and not have garlic or crosses hanging around outside of it? Could they in fact not be mosquito bites? Are they 2 bites right on your neck? Could you be in the thrall of a vampire instead? Is that a thing? Have you considered the possibility? No, of course you haven't. Nobody does. Putting out a cigarette using a vampire causes aggravated damage since it'd be fire. Well, if you stubbed it out on them and into their palm, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to find a vampire and test it out. I assume it would. Well, let's choose a save slot and see how this goes. Oh. Welcome. Well, we've got 2 icons at the top here, but anyway, welcome to my castle. My castle. Mine. You understand? Don't expect everyday logic to work here. Went out of the window sometime after midnight, maybe earlier. My kingdom is not of your world, you see. It lies far outside of concrete, tangible reality. I've tried to identify the way people reach it, and I'm convinced it has something to do with the moon. Oh, are you a Malkavian? Some say the moon's aura. Ah! Some say the moon's aura can turn them insane. You heard the phrase, moonstruck and lunatic. When I see it, moonlight gives them some subliminal permission to reveal their true selves. Hold on one second. Oh, okay, that's a dictionary. Alright. And you... Oh, we are playing somebody called Julie, are we? Maybe? Or at least maybe we're listening to something called Julia? Not Julie. Apparently I can't change options, or at least not right now. And so whenever they let the silver radiance guide them to the gates of this place, they feel different. Once they pass the doorstep, they're ready to act out. Dance of horror and Marvels begins. Marvels? Marvels the Avengers? Oh, this is going down a different path. It's 3:31 AM. Welcome to Big Pete Burgers! Ooh, somebody's eating. Well, it looks like they're eating a hot dog. At least that's what I would identify that sort of shape with. Joe calf, low calf. Alright, but there are burgers on the wall. Adverts. You don't need to advertise at me. I'm already in your establishment. Thank you. Alright, 1 second. Let us take the time speed down to slow. See if that helps. If you're here at this hour, you're not exactly readying up to be a productive member of society come tomorrow morning. More likely, you're praying the sunrise never comes. I mean, or you could be out because you're really, really hungry. I mean, I am regularly up at 3:31. And, you know, I wouldn't say I was an unproductive member of society, but then again, you know, I wouldn't want to say that. Maybe the Justice League will save you. Maybe. Or you work the graveyard shift. That is also a thing. Yep. Insatiable children of the night gather round, hoping to bask in the afterglow of tonight's victories, unwind after a frustrating series of failures, or simply fight to keep themselves together. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here, greedily reveling in every interaction they have. They have no idea they're only here for my amusement. To them, I'm just a random girl sitting in the corner. So is your castle a white castle, perhaps? Is it made of bricks and, you know, generally looking white? Oh, swing shift and you're eating after work? Yeah, I mean, there are a multitude of really good reasons why you would be up at 3:31 AM. But this is my domain. I've been coming here almost every night for years. I know where to sit, where to look, and where to eavesdrop for maximum amusement. I'm basically a voyeur, and unashamed to admit it. It gave me insight about the human condition I'd never otherwise have gathered, and more importantly, a necessary skill set to make ends meet as a journalist. See? 3:31, you're up, you're here, you could be a journalist. That is another thing you could be. As I write on my crappy old laptop, patiently waiting for the legion of negative voices in my head to get too tired to offer useless feedback, keep my senses peeled to pick up stories around me. Well, it looks like we are going to be journalist laptop person, probably. Of course, a lot of regular events, such as food fights, are nothing to write home about, aside from my unfortunate tendency to become collateral damage in someone else's battles. Oh, well, there we go. There's an opening if ever I heard one. Up to this day, I've had to wash my clothes because of Coke, Diet Coke, hot coffee, apple pie, and some sort of improvised honey mustard bomb. Every stain tells a different story. So Coke and Diet Coke, but no Pepsi! We can tell who paid for product placement in this game. Sometimes this hobby is exhausting. Hobby? Okay. Sometimes it's disturbing. Sometimes it's dangerous. Though, not as risky as back when I was carrying pepper spray. I wasn't carrying pepper spray, sorry. I mean, yeah. Still, sites I've taken in over the years, I've made it absolutely worth it. I've got so many stories. I don't know where to begin. At the beginning, theatrical breakups, impromptu morning parties, unexpected friendships forged in the fires of senseless battle. A lady in a gorgeous Givenchy dress, ordering a box of takeout chicken nuggets, paying in cash with her hands completely covered in blood. She was asked if she wants a napkin. She said no. Maybe it's not blood, maybe it's tomato sauce. Food Rights, brought to you by Coca-Cola. He said, trying desperately to think of Coca-Cola's current catchphrase. I can't. The only one I can remember is "It's always the real thing." But that's very odd. Two thirsty metro dudes shamelessly going for it in a corner. Hush moaning filling the lobby while everyone around valiantly fights to act as usual and maintain an illusion of normalcy. Oh, that's a straight up kung fu fight between a diminutive cashier and some drugged bodybuilder going through a psychotic episode, trying to break all the windows. Yeah, man. The big guy left the joint fully convinced he killed himself, while the service worker was just standing next to him. Seems proud of his victories, too. What? Alright, okay. A middle-aged hag getting a heart attack after screaming her lungs out. Not to let Muslims near her food, just because she saw a white girl wearing a hairnet behind the counter. Religious extremism. And Karens. Not a good combination either. Nice couple robbing the restaurant of 30 hamburgers, forcing the employees to cook at gunpoint. This later said those were art students reenacting some history book they read. Well, I mean, that doesn't leave them any less culpable, right? They're still in charge of their own actions, even if they read it from a book. This is life. This is humanity at its worst and best. This is the noise that serves as the foundation for my creativity. This is the soma that keeps me going. This is... says Julia. As pathetic as it may sound, these days this is the only place where I feel alive. Sometimes I think of myself as a leech, feeding on these people's stories, emotions and personalities just because I'm not satisfied with mine. At times, I think of my psyche as some kind of shitty postmodern construct that is fundamentally incapable of honesty, but only yearns for something felt and truthful. Does this even make any sense? I look at the screen of my laptop. 3:47 AM. So you have been spouting gibberish for 16 whole minutes. I mean, looks at time. That might be about how long I have been going. Let's actually go out. No. 15 minutes and 30 seconds since I started the stream there. Your counting is off. At this point, I'm almost somnambulic. Somnambulic. You know, to do with sleep, but I'm not entirely sure. Hey. But nothing interesting has happened yet. Feels like all the customers are watching each other tonight, hoping for the others to provide a fun distraction. I mean, you could watch that guy just put the same piece of food up to his mouth every day. Every time, even. Sigh, you say in the chat. Well, good for playing along. This is my turf, you parasitic douchebags. Next time, go find your own. I think it's time to call it a night. The coffee I always order so they don't kick me out is undrinkable. Ugh. Read the rough draft I've been working on for the last 6 hours. So you've been there since 9 o'clock? What the hell? God damn, this is pure trash, she says out loud. I already dislike this character. Oh, don't worry, I think she's gonna die soon enough. Or maybe she's already turned, I don't know. I hold the backspace button until the Google document page is nothing but a calm white slate and let out a sound of deep release. Other online document things are available aside from Google. Not just Google. Do not only use Google, or alternatively use OpenOffice, which you can see me using every time I boot up or close down this stream. Yes, indeed. LibreOffice, not OpenOffice. It is the offshoot of OpenOffice. It is LibreOffice. Yes, indeed. There's no pleasure more intoxicating for a frustrated writer than ragging on someone even worse than them. What target is easier than the dumb bitch you used to be 10 minutes ago? Check the time again. I need to go. I have an important meeting tomorrow at 10 AM, and I hunch it's not going to end well. You're not going to be a productive member of society tomorrow, because you're here in this burger place at 3:31 AM. And it's not because I'm an irresponsible dumbass who's going to need a few cups of coffee to simply function on a basic level. Despite, 4 hours of sleep. Exactly. I was wondering whether they were using Google or not Word. What? That's good. That's all about punching up, not down. It's because I always have a hunch things are not going the way they're supposed to. Click clack, click clack. We're not even going to see her apartment or anything. We're straight into the something to star. World Easter? Type your guesses for the name of the paper right now. Also, are we going to have post-it brand post-it notes, or are they just generic post-it notes? Click clack, click 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 clap. The loud clatter of keyboard assaults me from all sides. Makes this splitting headache unbearable. Oh, my head. Used to be, I dreamed of nothing else but being a part of New York Lodster editorial team. It was the first magazine I started reading regularly. The first magazine I ever bought for myself. Damn you! Damn you for guessing correctly. Well done. You get something? Some sort of prize? It might or might not be death. Maybe you could have VOP status when I change the thing. Yep. Now, simply hearing the word Lodestar is enough to ruin my mood. Never mind seeing these old farts phoning in more reactionary opinion columns and Wikipedia-level analysis of current events. Click, clack, click, click, clack. I used to destroy and rebuild my entire worldview every month. This shaped my thinking about politics, art, journalism. They even pointed me towards my favourite cigarette brand, for God's sake. There are people walking around in the background there. Then, some talented people started leaving for greener pastures. Some got too wrapped up in their own neuroses. Some became complacent. The worst of all places. All of them committed the sin of allowing themselves to grow older. Fresh blood was deemed unnecessary, even though young freelancers kept being bled dry. Does this character not think for themselves if the newspaper completely changed their point of view every month? I mean, when you're young enough, the things that you read, you're still trying to form your own opinions. And she said, they used to do that. So, this might be, hey, this is the thing that I remember helping me form my opinions. Whenever they had an opinion, I just changed it and latched onto the new thing because these were the well-educated, incredibly clever people. They must know how the world works and everything that's going on in it. Not me. I'm still a dumb person trying to find out. But I mean, when you get old enough, you find out everybody's dumb people just trying to work out whatever's going on in the world. Even now. Even days before your death, I'm sure you're a dumb person still trying to work out how everything works. These days, whenever someone from outside Lodestar talks about Lodestar, it's because of a few idealistic contributors, willing to accept meager pay while putting in serious work. Dumbasses. Bet you were one of those few before it was beaten out of you. Other than that, the magazine specializes in publishing pale echoes of provocative ideas I heard somewhere else a few years prior, wrapped in an aesthetic that wouldn't have been cutting edge for a decade. No wonder the readership is in freefall. Even though the ship is sinking, the old guard won't let it go down without a fight. As in, if anybody from outside attempts to board the vessel in hopes of fixing its course or its holes, they will be swiftly taken care of. I should know. Been there, done that. Does that mean you were on the idealistic side coming on, or that you were in here and have become one of the complacent people who is beating the others down now? Or both. You could be both. Things don't actually work. As it stands, the only full-time staff member who doesn't make me regularly attempt to cringe my face off with his writing... Oh god, he's coughing at you. Get out of here. Get out of here if he's coughing at me. I don't want your diseases. I mean, that is a good thing that is coming out of... I say good thing, but you know, I mean, it is a thing that will stop because of COVID. The fact that people cough to get your attention. Because now when they do that, everybody looks at them and goes, oh my god, that person, are they diseased and injured or ill? We should run away from them, rather than go and walk over to them and try and help them. So yeah, exactly. Get down. Anyone who doesn't do it is Lodestar's Editor-in-Chief, Brian... No. The man sitting in front of me right now. Of course, he only has time for editorials these days. Drop in the sea of needs. Managerial duties hit him hard. I believe that is a Vietnamese surname? It's the second time he let out a... it's the second time he's let out a theatrical cough like this. He said his piece, and it's up to me to react, and I'm coming up blank. Is he firing you? Well, what do you want me to say, Brian? I'm pissed off. I can tell you've already made up your mind. But you still want to go through the motions just to make me feel listened to. Whatever. Let's do this. Right, the guy's guilty of major fraud. Right, the man is a sexual harasser, Brian. You're protecting a complete piece of shit here. Well, I mean, all of those things could be true. I don't know if we're picking a path to go down or not. And unfortunately, there is no voting thing here. So, you know, if you have an opinion, feel free to voice it. Or text it. You know, make me aware of it in some way. You could send me a paper aeroplane, I suppose, but I don't think it would reach me in time. Vote 1. You think he's guilty of major fraud. Is that he's bribing the guy called Major Fraud, or is it the crime of Major Fraud? Go for fraud. Alright, yeah. Let's see what kind of fraud he is perpetrating on the people. Is it that he's passing off Pepsi as Coke and using non-Google documents? My god. What a horrible man. Brian, my article isn't even something like lashing out at the rich and hoping they don't hit back. I think Double Spira's investors would appreciate being told they're being scammed. That's if, and that's a big if, they're not a conscious part of the scam. Well, I mean, if they are being scammed, I think we can safely conclude that they are not part of the scam. Oh, come on. And even if they weren't, I doubt they'd be generous enough to protect us from the fallout. You're avoiding the core of the issue. No, I believe I've pinpointed it in a precise way. If it were up to me, I'd greenlight the article here and now, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. Oh, it's those invisible people from upstairs who are crushing it, not me. I am merely the mouthpiece that is telling you these things. Those upstairs, you want to shake your fist at them. But you're killing the article just because some rich shithead told you he doesn't like it. Get real. This is not about some millionaire jerk calling me to make me an offer I can't refuse. Although, I did get called and made an offer I couldn't refuse. What is this about then? Because it looks awfully like it's about my bosses telling me that this outlet can't afford the legal action we have already been threatened with. I mean, isn't that worse? You publish the article, then you get threatened with the lawsuit, and then you say, hey, we have to close down because we've been threatened with the lawsuit. It's them. They're the horrible people. I don't know whether you'll get a lot of groundswell sympathy support for it, but, you know, it's a thing. So, millionaire interference. Ah, for crying out loud, Julia. Don't make me treat you like a child. You know how this works. I publish your story. It's Steele versus Gorka all over again. A lawsuit here, a lawsuit there, until we're bled dry. Oh, how very vampiric of you. Ah. I have a mortgage. I have 3 mouths waiting to be fed at home. I have an amazing team that doesn't deserve to be torn apart over some. I mean, yeah, it's probably America, right? The company is a public figure, them always in the case one. Potentially, but easy to win. Yeah, but again, you could be bled dry over the time, having to continually defend against them. Don't you think it's... Ooh! Excuse me. I am so enthralled with this, it's time for a yawn. Goodbye, Brian. Ugh. Don't you think it's telling you mentioned your mortgage first? Silence. You know, you could have had nothing there. You could have had... Well, I learned recently that 3 dots, which I usually use to indicate a pause or some such, is now used to indicate emphasis by those younger generations. Damn you, younger generations. How dare you be younger than me. Damn you, linear time. Never mind. So, yeah, I don't know. Exactly, Richards. I get exactly what you're saying, and you know, I'm exactly on par with you. Just asking questions. I know better than to get into these empty semantic arguments with you, Miss Sawinski. You're good at them. The problem is, you're still not good enough. Meaning? You're too in love with weaving a good story and establishing a seductive narrative to let facts get in the way. You've got enough boring suits. With no principles on board these days, they always give you facts because that's all they can do. I'm using facts as a way to approach some kind of truth. Yeah, not anymore. Apparently. Except facts can blindside you, and Double Sparrow has enough facts to water down your story to the point where it makes no sense to publish it. The HR and PR are working overtime to deliver a convincing counter-narrative, and they're doing a great job. Won't mitigate the damage completely, but will put every little thing in question. Jesse Montgomery is a racist, a fraud, a sexual predator, and downright satanic fuckhead. Julia? Let me say it again. Jesse Montgomery is a racist, a fraud, a sexual predator, and a downright satanic fuckhead. Do you personally believe it, or not? This is not... You've listened to the tapes. You've read the transcripts. You've seen the documents. You've got the files. I'm asking for your personal opinion. Do you believe it or not? Click, clack. Click, clack, click. Of course I do. But that's beside the point. It's not. Look, how about I just say it loud and save both of us some time? You're fired. No? We're not having this conversation because there's an actual conversation to be had. You set up this meeting knowing very damn well there is only one way it's going to end. You've got a mortgage and 3 mouths to feed. You prioritize the well-being of your direct surroundings over some nebulous concept of greater good. I get it. I really do. Yet, for some reason, it seems like you're only prolonging this conversation and rationalizing your decision so that I forgive you? Officially exonerate you? I'm not the bad guy here, Julia. Oh. Yes, you are. I wouldn't say you are. So what are you? That's what I'm going to answer and say, yes, you are. You are the mouthpiece of the bigger bad guy, but you can't not be a bad guy yourself. I think you are, Brian. Julia. But I know you're generally a decent guy, so you must have prepared something you can say to turn this ship around. I'm still waiting for you to say it. You've made your deal with the devil, but you're not the type to sell your soul, so just tell me, how can you make this up to reset your karma? What have you got? He mutters something under his breath, ending with a self-pitying chuckle. Bad guy, decent guy, victim of circumstance. I don't know if you really care about the distinction. But, to be honest, as Lodestar Incorporated, TM, copyright, registered trademark, whatever. As Lodestar's editor-in-chief, all I've got for you is something that will make you think I'm the biggest scumbag in the universe. Oh, come on. Don't turn this into a pity party. No, I'm absolutely a scumbag. And why is that? Because I'm firing you. I mean, yeah, we knew that was coming. Come on. Pause. My thoughts are scrambled. Really? Is this not the way... Is this not how you saw it going down? For a brief moment, the state of my bank account displays before my eyes with startling clarity. So you are thinking about money first as well. A howling void opens up in my chest and starts travelling towards my stomach. No, don't panic yet, you idiot. Get more information. Now, there must be a catch. What about my work? Or you're joking? Or is this final? Exactly, how did they not see this coming? If they've already published it, then firing the person is to cover their own ass and say, oh, we didn't understand, we thought they checked all the facts, etc. We're covering our own ass. But yeah, if it's before it's going out, then I don't know. What about the work? It's still useful. I mean, it's been shredded and deleted and everything else. And we could publish it ourselves, yep, that's true. But I mean, putting it out on a blog or something, I suppose, wouldn't get many views. Not unless you're a high-profile writer who can somehow go, I was fired! I guess you could tweet it out. Let me get this straight. Ever since we met, I've been working on stories and pieces no one else in the office would touch with a 10-foot pole. Constantly interviewing total nobodies. Always busy travelling to the middle of nowhere, or, regretting my last trip, repeatedly ordered to clean up someone else's mess. Julia? All your long-winded spiels about how the disposable work is the most important work. And suddenly you only remember the disposable part? Could try to freelance it, that's true, yes. My feelings about the quality of your work remain the same as ever. It was vital. It kept the magazine going. I always appreciate it. But you're a disposable bod in a disposable world. Then, why do you threaten to fire me? I would never threaten you. It's a done deal. They've made the decision perfectly clear. They? What they? Who is this they? He glances left, right, and then points upwards for a short mission. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. When he speaks again, it's in a hushed voice. You know, the big kahunas. Can't really question them. They wanted your head on a platter. He's not looking me in the eye. You're not joking. No, of course. I would never joke about stuff like this. I might joke about, you know, the one where 3 people walk into a bar, but never about firing you. It's real. Fucking hell. It's real. Damn it, 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 damn it all to hell. I think I added too many damn it's in there, so you, my loyal viewers, get extra damn it's for your money. Aren't you lucky? People at the top are pleased you had dirt on their body. Yep. Oh, pissed, sorry, not pleased. Of course they're not pleased. Well, maybe they are pleased. I mean, the dirt that you have on the body means that they don't have dirt on you. Because it might be a frenemy type relationship rather than an actual friends. But anyway, all these years, all this grind, all my plans, and for what fucking arsehole? You know I deserve better, I always deserve better, and it's always end with me going down the drain and back to the sewers. Fuck! No. Take a few deep breaths. Don't lose the plot now. Keep yourself together, you idiot. No, you show weakness. I go for the throat. Get back in control. You can't do this. I should didn't have to, but it's a lost cause. No, I mean, it's impossible. Julia, you can't fire someone who's never been hired in the first place. Takes him a few seconds, but oh, I get it, face. Let out a trouble gas and start massaging his temples. My son has been my biggest source of income for the past few years. That much is true, but technically, nobody has ever hired me here. It was all freelance jobs. Ah, gig economy. Full-time positions only served as a kind of dangling carrot. Promise of decent pay grade, career prospects, maybe even some kind of insurance to save my failing health. And the recognition I would get for being a part of the Lone Star team. It was just everybody around me seems to respect, aside from me. Then why did I want it so much? Examining my own self-belief at this time is not a good thing. There will be time to mourn what could have been. For now, I should act like I just don't care. Wave your arms around like you just don't care. You know what I mean. If I let you work, even under a fake name, it would be a guillotine for me. This is ridiculous. You know I'm going to start shopping this story around the second I leave this room, don't you? Of course I know. I told them. Any response? Did they laugh while diving into their money bins? Let us worry about that. Yeah, that doesn't sound ominous at all. Click clack, click clack click. I do wonder if I could get accustomed to one of these loud mechanical keyboards some people here love to use. Whenever I did my work in here, I was still expected to bring my own crappy laptop and sit closer to the lobby. Always on the outside, no matter how hard I tried to break in. Vibration in my back pocket. Feels like a bad omen. I decide to ignore it for now. I mean, if you didn't bring your phone with you, then yes, that is definitely a bad omen. I've been working on this fucking story for, I don't know, 16 months on and off. I know. You kept cheering me on. I know. We have even agreed on the pay I'd receive. I know. I'm 2 months behind on my rent. No, wait, 2.5. I catch him off guard. He is momentarily taken aback, then gives me an empathetic stare. Don't you look at me this way. You don't have the right. I didn't know. Well, no. I mean, it's not generally the kind of thing you'd discuss unless you're in dire straits. And she thought she was getting a big payday at the end of this. You know. I mean, yes, it's time to make some copies of the story to be printed on my death. Yeah. Well, now you do. Look, if there's anything I can do to help, if you can't tell your big kahunas to fuck off, I don't think there's a single thing. Julia? I pulled out a smoke and lit it up. A smoke brand cigarette. The smokiest. Gotta get back in control. Please don't do that. There's a smoke detector here. Well, then I guess it will go off. No worries. Nick turned it off a few weeks ago. Probably the most creative thing he's done in the past 5 years. I mean, yeah, he's probably got connections with other papers, but, I mean, maybe the big kahunas do as well. I mean, it's not like you just want to control one media outlet if you're trying to control the spread of information. Oh! What did I miss there? No worries, Nick. I've turned it off. Oh no, it's just the same thing. It just filled it in. Alright. Good old Nick. Perfect 21st century cinema reviewer. Never had an original thought in his own. Just relies on the purely algorithmic tastes to stay like blah blah. Just relies on his purely algorithmic taste to stay likable. And the best thing is, it works. I mean, that's not the best thing, but okay. Funny, I used to dream about his job. It was Brian who killed this dream, making me realise it couldn't be unseated anytime soon. Nothing to teach me the ways of an investigative journalist instead. Wasn't the career I ever wanted to pursue, but to my dismay, it turned out to be surprisingly good at it. Until this Montgomery thing happened. Serves me right. Lesson learned. Should have pursued my dreams instead. Stop it. Nicholas is a good friend. Respected critic. Member of my team. I put out that smoke. People would tell me I let you step all over me. Why do I even let you act this way? Because you once told me honesty is most important in a mentor-student relationship. And it works both ways. Because I thought we were friends. He bites his lip. Stares sideways to avoid my eyes. At the end of the day, bosses aren't friends. Must have been a terrible mentor if I didn't even teach you that. Yes. Could have been better. You're still responsible for me. Or possibly emphasis. Possibly. I'm going to answer this one. I'm going to push the responsibility angle. Hey, you brought me into this world. It's up to you to take me out of it. Oh no, you're not getting off the hook that easily. You're still my mentor, and I will make sure you take responsibility. You're getting rid of me. At least point me in the right direction. I need to get my shit together, fast. And I can't do it on my own. Fair. I might have failed as a guide, but I will do what I can to not leave you stranded, okay? There are options. None of them are a remedy for your trouble, but... Ugh, wait a second. Another vibration in my pocket. Another foreboding feeling. This time I reluctantly take the smartphone out of my pocket. If it has to rain, why not let it pour? Hey, I know you were trying to help me, and were going to just direct me in the right direction after I, essentially emotionally blackmailed into it, but can you stop for a second while I just check out what's going on my phone? Maybe it's one of my friends texting me a picture of a cat doing something funny. I need to see. A new email. It's a lengthy one. And the sender? Speak of the devil. Huh? No. This can't be. Is it from Jesse Montgomery? Christ. I just got an email from... Mila Lopez. She claims she's just been laid off from Double Spiral, same as Mike Antoff and Jared Riviera. Holy shit. They're really claiming this story shot. What? What happened? I'll spare you all her insults, okay? The key thing is, it seems that HR knows all the confidential information about my journalistic investigation. Used it to shut everyone's mouth. Oh. Hell, apparently Montgomery walked up to Lopez as she was emptying her desk and told her to thank me for being a, quote, dumb and careless cunt. Ryan goes pale. I think he has a very good reason to. You fucking scumbag, you added my sources? What? What? Of course not. What are you even saying? Oh, don't you dare play coy. It must have been either you or me. No one else. You know the way I work. My investigation was basically untraceable, both on and offline. Carefully picked meeting spots, encryption upon encryption, every direct quote rewritten 5 times just in case. All sorts of red herrings scattered around. I know my shit. You know I do. So why did you give him all the information? This timing? Did you pass a flash drive to your beloved big kahunas during a meeting as a sign of goodwill? Look, I get you're upset, but why don't we just talk this through? Calmly? Alright, sorry for... No, fuck you! Okay, let's step by... Fuck you! You're right, we should... Nah, fuck off. I mean, should we go for the option that says fuck you, or should we vary it up and go for the option which says fuck off? I mean, that is shouting, which will get the officer's attention. That is being, fuck off, just being dismissive. Maybe, I mean, you can say it in a variety of different ways, but this is how I am interpreting. And this is just, alright, sorry for, no, fuck you! I'm just, you know, running out of the building, doing, fuck you! I don't know. Let's be, dismissive. Fury takes the wheel and I'm just here along for the ride. Can't do anything about it. In an arranged way, realizing you're just a passenger in your own body feels liberating. Let's just see it all unfold. Calmly? Fuck you, Brian. Julia. I've been paranoid for months and months, acting like everyone I didn't know was an assassin or a corporate spy. I know I haven't messed up. Not in a way that would implicate all of them. You goddamn... You thought you could get away with this? I haven't done anything improper. Don't push the blame on me. So what? You're claiming it's my fault? Because you're never the guilty one. It's always the bosses, the economy, the obligations you have. And now, me? You're being silly. Quit with this martyr bullshit. Calm down or I'll have to... You immoral shithead. You motherfucking... Calm down, for God's sake. And so it goes. I yell out a lot of words I wanted to say for a long time, and held back, letting a lot of insults I've been workshopping for years, hoping I'd never use them. I break a few things. Necks, arms, fingers, laptops, hearts, bottles, kicking a trash can on the way out, ripping off a post-it note. No? None of those things? Alright. At times, for a split second, I see pity in somebody's eyes. It's going to haunt me for a long time. In the heat of the moment, I don't care. These people, no, this company has nothing left to offer me. So at least let me take this catharsis. In the end, a security guard has to escort me out of the building, and that's the end of my journalistic career. I just feel like my world has crumbled into nothing. Are you telling somebody? Because now you're speaking out loud. Oh, you are. You're telling Dakota. I mean, you have every right to. You have every right to. Like, Jesus. If I were you, I would have already broken down into a sobbing mess. I'd love to, but I'm on a subway. Far too proud to cry in public. Not crowd to cry in public. Anyway, even now, and it's stupid. I feel like someone out there keeps destroying everything I hold dear just to see my reaction. Like it was a prank show and somebody's waiting to record me crying. I mean, I'm not waiting for you to cry, but if you do cry, I am recording this, so... Is it my fault because I'm playing this game that this has happened to you? If I hadn't started the game, would you still be a journalist?
deep philosophical thoughts here on LMTD FFR. Oh, say it with me now. Limited time offer. No looking at the philosophy behind any of this stuff. So, out of sheer spite, I'm doing my best not to cry. Fuck you, whoever you are and wherever you are. That's the most Julius Sawinski thing I've heard. Spite as the greatest motivator, huh? Who is this Dakota? Do we get to see Dakota? Not feeling particularly motivated to do anything right now, to be honest. I just want to stay in my bed until my shithead landlord calls the cops to forcibly evict me. I mean, yeah, that's a thing. What have we got? We got a Coke can or a red unidentified can of something, a newspaper, a milkshake, or a drink cup, and then just some rubbish paper. Gotta get empowered by ASAs? I don't know what that is, ABAs? Something from November to March 12th? Weaponism? I don't know. Alright, well, those are interesting articles. I don't know anything. Anyway, not surprised. Shit. I know whenever life decides to fuck you over, it's always one thing after another. But this is too much.
How much is too much? Let's recap this last week of June 2019. I've been kicked out of my job. Well, not that I haven't been hired, so let's just say my mentor broke every vague promise he ever made to me. A big thing I'd been working on for a year and a half went down the toilet. It's all useless. I just didn't protect my sources properly, and now they keep trying to reach me, even though every possible channel to threaten me, or just through every possible channel to threaten me, or just yell at me. They have every right to react like that. All of my side gigs were shut down. Nobody's replying to my emails. Somebody's been dragging my name through the mud behind the scenes, and it worked. I think the cops removed people in New York. I imagine there have been similar eviction systems to California where it goes through the courts, but you could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. And this is the world of Vampire the Masquerade, where everything is tainted with a smear of... I was going to say a smear of shit, but I mean, everything is worse than our world. If you even thought that could be possible. But yeah, I mean, it's meant to be worse in every respect, because there are people behind the scenes running things, and they only care for themselves. How does that differ from our world? Maybe because it's explicit and they know that this is actually a thing going on? I don't know. Corruption, yes, everywhere. I still have no idea who's sending these shitty messages around. I've been asking, but... Listen, don't worry about it. I'm not going to stand idly by and watch you get cancelled by some mean-spirited, delusional... So, are you on the phone to this person? Because you had to tell them you were on the subway. And they're still employed and asking around. So, I said, don't worry about it. I have 3 unread messages from my landlord. Message previews are stressful enough. A call came from Chicago. Apparently Dad has bladder cancer. Mum is in hysterics. She'd go crazy if she heard about my situation, so I have to pretend everything is okay whenever she calls. And she calls every day. She just won't hang up before she offloads all her burdens on me. And I can't blame her, because we all had to learn to cope with Dad's psychopathic tendencies somehow. I was robbed. All my documents and what little money I had gone. I don't even know when or where it happened. And it's driving me crazy because I've always been extremely wary of pickpockets. The list goes on. People aren't competent enough to run things behind the scenes in the real world. Yeah, okay. That is our saving grace, isn't it? People are incompetent. Huzzah! If one person gets their shit together and can do this, we are fucked. I don't want to sound paranoid, but it really feels like a concentrated attack. Not concerted. I mean, either way. Paranoid is good. No, stop. Paranoid is good. Anyway, I know you always handwave this topic away, but just remember that if anything happens, my place is your place. You don't have to get through it alone. I do. I've been a trouble magnet, and as self-centered as I may be, I don't want to affect you. I know. Listen, I have another call. Is it a call telling you that they're shutting off your phone? Alright, just call me if anything happens, no matter how dumb it seems, okay? And swing by whenever you can. I will. Thank you. See you. Put my phone away. Exhale and blankly stare in front of me. Christ. And glance at my reflection in the window. Just look at this idiot. Whenever the situation requires me to dress formally, I still feel a bit like a child cosplaying as an adult. Should have just followed the dress for the job you want advice and continued dressing up like a trust fund kid who keeps partying on Brooklyn rooftops for years without a care in the world. I mean, dress for the job you want. So, don't dress, don't want a job. Desire a career. Don't have a dream job. Having a job should not be a dream. Should be like a basic thing that you shouldn't need to have to want to work in order to survive. If I go around naked, what career am I seeking? I mean, I was gonna say pornography, but no. I mean, part of the art of pornography, or striptease at least, is knowing how and when to take off your clothes and how to make it entertaining. So, running a nudist camp, maybe? I'm not sure. I guess running a nudist camp is probably the closest. It's only after a while that I realised my car is empty. Unnaturally so. I was thinking of an actual car and not a trained car, but yeah, alright. And unnaturally so, I start feeling uneasy when someone enters my peripheral vision. I mean, look at their face. And that's the last thing I consciously register. The world dissolves. Oh no, somebody dropped a vial of acid somewhere that cannot be stopped by anything. The world has dissolved. When I come to, I'm out of the subway, standing in a back alley I don't recognize. It's pretty dark, my eyes start adjusting, and I try to figure out what happened. There's a gun in my hand. A faint silhouette at my feet. It's not moving. Somebody stands in front of me, covered shadows. I can't fully make out her face, but she's staring at me with visible intent. She speaks. Her voice is raspy and androgynous. Her tone hateful and mocking. Aren't you a nasty one? What is going on? Who are you? Don't play coy. My mind goes blank. I look at the ground. There's a body, riddled with bullet holes, and I recognize who it is. Was. The corpse belonged to Mike Antonoff, one of the double spiral whistleblowers, my source. He was just threatening to get back at me a few hours ago. Oh my god. Before I can even feel the tiniest bit of compassion, I face a terrible realization. They will think I'm guilty. Oh my god. Am I guilty? How is this real? It wasn't me. What happened to him? What have you done? Which of these... She failed her willpower roll, indeed she did. Which of these options do you think we should pick here? What have you done to me? Alright. Deny all knowledge of our own actions and say it was you forced me somehow, possibly through mesmerism. I mean, yes, we know it's obviously supernatural stuff because we know the nature of the game we're playing. But would somebody else? You've done something to me, haven't you? Back in the subway. That was you, wasn't it? A man is bleeding out at your feet, and you're turning this around on me, somehow? I haven't done anything to him. Again, don't play coy. You knew him. He was mad at you. You started telling him sob stories about your situation. He wasn't having none of it. He wasn't having none of it. You're a odd vampire. You got mad. Things escalated. He died. Where did I get the gun from? I mean, that isn't going to be difficult to fabricate, but where did I get it from? Is it true? It's plausible, but it doesn't make it true. Or does it? This is just a nightmare. It doesn't even make sense. It must be a dream. And if it isn't, the person in front of me must be responsible. There's a faint voice in my head, screaming that it's her world, that I'm just living in it. What the fuck have you done to me? Nothing yet. I'll do what I can to get you locked up for life. This is a murder in the first degree with special circumstances. Her detached voice and nonsensical tone only reassures me this can't be real. I refuse to believe it is. I mean, does this kill the story altogether? Discrediting her? I guess so. Can we just shoot her? I mean, yeah, but it's not going to do anything, as we all know. Maybe the bullet's out there, or maybe we don't want to, because... No, I guess if we were mesmerized, we probably pulled the trigger ourselves. Yeah? So we're going to have gunshot residue all over our hands. Already. So pulling the trigger again isn't going to make us any more incriminated. Probably. Before I even manage to think this through, I point the gun at her. Well, there we go. If I did murder him, you wouldn't be acting like that. You wouldn't be standing in front of me. You'd be running away, calling the police, begging for help, yelling that I'm a psycho. Oh, you are a psycho. But I'm not a coward. I won't let you walk out of here alive. Oh. This doesn't make a single lick of sense. Tears well up in my eyes. Why are you doing this? Because sometimes one has to confront what they're really made of. There's no two ways about it. She's got to be nuts. Slowly but surely, she starts walking towards me. Stop right there, or I'll shoot. No, I was considering for a moment that that person doesn't actually exist, and that you've always been a vampire, but just denying it so much that you've created this other persona for yourself. But no, the hair, the clothes, the eyes, it's all too different to be the same person, I think. Go on. It's the only way you can get off the hook, isn't it? The only way you can survive. But you will definitely prove you are the monster I claim you are. What the fuck is this tone? So controlling, inauthentic, patronizing. I'm serious. For your own sake, you'd better be. She keeps getting closer. Maybe I did kill Antonov. Maybe I don't deserve to live. Maybe it's less tiring not to live. Maybe I should just let her take care of me. Maybe I will just wake up. Or maybe this insane reality needs to be rejected as violently as possible. Maybe a world that wants me to destroy myself deserves to be destroyed. She's right in front of me. It's now or never. Shoot, don't shoot. Critical point. Do we shoot? Do we not shoot? How would defending yourself make you a monster? Because I don't know that she is defending herself. You're just calmly walking towards them. Taking it. I mean, the fact that you've threatened you're not getting out of here alive. She's unarmed, and I have a gun. Am I? Am I justified in killing them if they just walk up to me slowly, saying, hey, don't worry about it, buddy? I don't want to shoot just to see what happens. Well, we can not shoot. I mean, I have no opinions on this particular thing. I mean, I have minor opinions, but, you know, chances are I will come back and shoot at some point. So, don't shoot. Exactly. Don't shoot. And instead, turn the gun around and pistol whip her. I won't shoot. Just help me, please. Help me. Oh, I will. She yanks the gun out of my hand with ease. Her strength is horrifying, actually, and turns it against me. Then she pulls the trigger. What? With a gaping hole where my heart used to be, I fall down onto Antonov's body. If it's any consolation to you,
If that's the way you are, there's no chance you were ever going to amount to anything. I've just hastened the inevitable. For a lowlife, not even worth drinking. I'm just angry at myself for wasting so much time and resources to give you a second chance. Sierra wanted me back in Chicago as soon as possible. You'll have to wait a bit longer. Oh well. I have no idea what she's talking about, but I am no condition to care anymore. And this is the achievement Dead End. The comfort of death will come for kind and kindred alike. Well, there we go. And that was the end of the game. Thanks very much for watching. Let's run these credits while we do the thing anyway. I will grab some water. Well, I guess this is the end of the game. Unless this is all a giant fake out, and then as soon as it comes back, it's going to be, hey, what did you expect? Now you are getting up again. You don't want to waste the reader's time. I mean, a dead end where you die before the entirety of the game starts. That would be an ending. I don't know if you see it. No, you don't. Okay, so I'm looking at the Steam overlay for the credits, and there it is. Oh no, dead end. Rejoice, for death is not the end. I don't know. I can't load. So death is the end. And look, it's all empty again. So, okay. Welcome to my castle. Blah 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 blah. We've read all of this, so let's just go back through it all. I mean, I assume it's not going to go suddenly have a thing where it goes, have I done all this before? Oh my god, I feel so different. Alright. Let's continue down the major fraud route. I mean, it's not bad design if this is the ending that you want. If your point is, hey, somewhere along the way, you made a bad choice, and you didn't embrace the principle of the game. I mean, part of some of Vampire the Masquerade's thing is that you are a monster. You are always a monster. And we did not embrace that by shooting. We did not prove we are the monster that we really are. We are not worthy of the embrace. So, you know, it's possible that is what they're trying to get across. No, we're going back. We're going down fraud route again to see if anything changes. You made that decision. We're sticking with that decision. Anyway, okay, so this is all the stuff that you've said. Okay, so who is the bad guy here? Last time I said yes, you are. I don't just want to get back to the same point of exactly the same options apart from do shoot at the end. Well, maybe I do? Alright, you know, yeah, alright, we are going to do that. I don't know, it might matter, it might not. And what about my work?
You are still responsible for me. This one I don't think matters, but we should... Nah, fuck off. That's what we said last time, so we'll be all dismissive. Hey, Dakota. I really enjoyed talking with you, but you know... I'm about to shoot someone, so you know I've got to get there quickly enough. Alright. What have you done to me? You have done something to me, haven't you? Man is bleeding out. I haven't done anything. Again, double account. You knew him. He was mad at you. Is this true? Is this plausible? No, you're a complete psycho. Now, do you? She's right in front of me. It's now or never. So, this time... So, anyway, I started blasting. I closed my eyes and squeezed the trigger. You close your eyes to do it? Alright. You can't even look at your victim. Alright. A loud bang echoes through the alley. I'm afraid to look at what I've just done. I've been to a shooting range once and felt absolutely horrified by pistols. It's such a small thing, but it can easily puncture a hole in the fabric reality is made of. I mean, no, it can punch holes in materials. Never knew I'd be able to use it against another human being. The very thought makes me want to puke. I mean, we know that it wasn't another human being that you used it against, and that it doesn't matter. You were a right choice after all. I'm so glad. You haven't allowed yourself to break, but you've crossed the line I needed you to cross. There's a silent flame in you that could become an inferno if left unchecked. I sure hope it will. She's still alive. Her voice is coming from... behind me? She puts her hands around my waist, and her cold mouth touches my neck. I can feel my shirt getting violently torn off. I don't understand, but I'm too dazed to protest. That was your final test. Congratulations, you've proven yourself worthy. I can feel something sharp sliding into my neck. You're wearing a cross. Alright. I mean, I note that with interest, not with any sort of, oh, shock or horror, but hey, it's not too painful, just startling. Think, a doctor pushing a needle into your vein without a proper warning? Then, it hits me. Pure bliss. The dopamine receptors I've considered completely fried until now suddenly recover and start bombarding me with pleasure I've never known before. I finally let the tears go. They come flooding. They've been waiting for years. It's such a relief. Remember, if you want to cry, you need to stay hydrated. Is it raining? I feel like I'm in the middle of a deluge at least, washing away all of my fears, all of my sorrows, all of my anger, all of my pain, all of my ego? I become one with the world, and the woman behind me. She's holding me tight, making me feel like the only important thing in this world. Everything else blurs. I feel something intense towards her, something I've never felt before. Is this love? I hope it is. This is not you, this is a familiar, cynical voice in the back of my head. But it's okay. I never felt particularly fond of me anyway. New York, you're perfect. Oh, please don't change a thing. He who laughs in the shadows always has the last laugh. Hallelujah! Praise me! When everything is cliché, nothing is. Isn't that the ever-distant utopia I've been chasing all along? People on other trains, I hope you're doing fine. You're not on a train. You're in an alley. Possibly. Unless this was a dream. But I don't think it is. Or not a dream, a vision construct. I don't think it is. I think they would sacrifice just one mortal, or any number of mortals, just to find out, play their twisted games. God, shut up. Just enjoy it. You finally understand? She's making love to me. She's giving birth to me. She's burying me. All of life's experience encompassed in one tiny little thing. I'm pretty sure I've been dead for a while. I'm pretty sure I can stare at my own corpse in her hands from a distance, for a moment somehow. And then, I'm alive again. She lifts her mouth from my neck. Oh wait, I taste blood in my mouth? Was I drinking her blood? Too? Why do you not go down for that last single word? Alright. I realised that whatever this was, it's over. And I have to bask in the afterglow while I still can. I also immediately understand that I'm going to chase this fleeting feeling for the rest of my existence. I was going to say, I think that might be why vampires are vampires, to try and get back what they were. That tiny little sliver that they experienced once. I mean, humans do it. Finally, she lets out a whisper which concludes the ceremony. No matter what happens next, don't forget, you're a monster. But you are lucky enough to be born into a world of monsters. So don't you ever mourn that fact. Indeed, you see? What I was hinting at before. Or what I was skirting around, whatever. Embrace it. And now we have the achievement Shrouded in Shadows. Now the game really begins. Oh my god! Back at Big Beat Burger. No, look at a thing. I'm looking at all the achievements, and I want to view the global stats, so I want to see how many others got Dead End. Only 23% of the people who own this game got the Dead End achievement, which is where you don't start the game. Okay. Well, there we go. We are one of the 23%. Once again, I found myself at Big Beat Burger. Familiar surroundings, faces I recognize. Mood, same as it ever was. Still, I process it in an entirely different way. It all frustrates me now, or more precisely, makes me frustrated with myself. It's like I'm clinging to the remnants of a cocoon I've outgrown. Yeah, going back to the same old places and doing the same things when you are so much more now, gotta be a mistake. Ugh! Oh, and you're dressed very differently as well. And your hair has grown? Or maybe we just couldn't see it before, but I thought it was shorter. And now you're wearing an even bigger cross? Eh. It's the same with these cigarettes. I don't need them anymore, so why do I keep holding on to them? Fucking hell. It's like I refuse to accept that I'm something better than I used to be. I mean, smoking can largely be an affectation on its own, so yeah. A vampire. Dictionary updated. Just 2 nights ago I met Karen. She embraced me, which means she turned me into a kindred. Can I hover over these for explanations? No? She calls herself my sire and me her child. Alright, and if I click on the word, does it bring it up? No, it doesn't. We can look at the dictionary. Why is child the one? And why are these not in alphabetical order? child what a sire calls his vampire progeny when they're being naughty. Sort of like when an exhausted mom calls their kid by their first name. Also tends to be the go-to when somebody feels like they're out of arguments and need to make their seniority known. Plural form is childer. Sire, the one who makes you a bloodsucker. A vampire's name for parent. Mine was Karen? Chiron? I'm going to call her Karen, and I'm going to imagine her like a Karen, asking to see people's managers. Kindred, a term of fellowship among vampires, thought to have been coined after an anarch uprising of some sort, but the Camarilla doesn't talk about that much. The embrace. How a vampire turns all human prey into a fellow vampire, for whatever reason. Like most things, the details are a bit more gruesome than whatever romanticized images Hollywood has shoved down everyone's throats over the years. Unless you think total exsanguination followed by replacement of your vital bodily fluids by someone else sounds romantic. I mean, that clinical description of it doesn't, but apparently the feeling of it is just as romantic as everything that is portrayed in Hollywood, perhaps even more so. Last night she taught me the basics of survival. Drinking blood, manipulating humans, bending steel, controlling minds? Shadows, okay. Tonight, I expected more lessons. Instead, she just told me to go out and enjoy myself. Alright, let's find out what we're going to enjoy. What's the catch? I asked, to which she responded, I might kill you if you prove to be a disappointment. You've already killed me once. There are a few rules I have to uphold. The masquerade. I can't contact anyone I knew as a human, and I can't let anyone realize I'm not human anymore. I can't embrace anyone, and so on. Come on, let's look at the dictionary. Oh, because this is new. Or unread. I mean, or both. Masquerade, the systematic security of vampires the systematic secrecy of vampires built to conceal a world from humankind. In order to protect us. Oh, god damn it! Read the things and get them in the right order, because pausing can change the meaning. The systemic secrecy of vampires built to conceal our world from humankind in order to protect us. Essentially, the masquerade is our shield against the fear and ignorance of human beings. Make no bones about it. If the vast majority of people ever learned we exist, we would be hunted to extinction. Alright. What do you mean child is unread? I read child. It's still not in alphabetical order. Disappointing dictionary. Otherwise, I'm free to do whatever I want. But for some reason, the first thing I did was come back here. Odd habits die hard. Karen is probably watching me from somewhere even now. The way I understand it, tomorrow night she is supposed to introduce me to the Camarilla, a local society of vampires. The Camarilla, the big boys and girls in town. The largest vampire sect I know of. Plays well with mortals, or rather, plays mortals like a fiddle. Manipulative and rigid in structure. Almost feudal, really. There's a prince involved. No joke. Heavily invested in maintaining the masquerade and other so-called traditions, which helps with the two previous points. Turns out they are the ones who have been systematically ruining my life lately. All a part of some secret evaluation that I barely passed. Just imagine the reach they have makes me dizzy. After they destroyed the old me that I barely cared about, Karen rebuilt me anew. On one hand, her test left some scars that would take time to heal. On the other hand, maybe I should just be grateful. I mean, exactly how much can they manipulate people? I mean, they couldn't manipulate my dad into getting bowel cancer, right? They could certainly mesmerize or encourage my mother to come and offload shit onto me. And they could have got the sources. By mesmerizing Brian and taking his stuff, or mesmerizing me and taking my stuff. And then getting everybody. And then leaking it to the person. But yeah. I am snapped out of my thoughts by a sudden scream. Some douchebag yelling about his french fries not being salty enough. I think this is my cue to leave. Permanently. Just kill the guy as you walk past. Thok into the neck, breaking it as you leave. Goodbye, BBB. I hope I never see you again. Oh, your eyes are all glowy now, where before they were all blue. Now they're amber? I wonder if that's a thing. I'm destined for greater things, you see. Oh. Well, I don't know what I've got here. Am I meant to be clicking on one of these icons? Because nothing highlights when I see them. I assume I am? These must be like destinations I can go to? So, glasses, beard, or shadowy figure. Anybody got any preferences? Shadowy. Always with the unknown, eh? And I like the way these roadways are veins. Or seem to be it. Let's click here. There we go. Oh! Dance macabre, trying to swing by. We can click on them to get more information. Fine, that's great. Time to swing by and get a little more of the devil's dance floor. The club beckons. The risk of swiping right. This Tinder addict smells like a bit of a loser, a wannabe intellectual, a perfect source of nourishment. All of the above. And retributive justice. A meathead bully and his unfortunate victim. I probably shouldn't interfere, but what better chance could I find to test what I've become? I mean, still going to the dance club sounds... which is the most monstrous? I think probably taking it out on the Tinder victim is probably the most monstrous, because they're just looking for a human connection of some kind. The bully would be more human, still taking down the predators and making it safe for people. And the shadowy figure going to the dance club. Let's just go enjoy ourselves. That's what we've been told to do. The club reeks of death, and I love it. I've been here quite a few times, but I've never seen anything this breathtaking. Everyone around me is whacked out of their minds, and they just keep dancing madly. The spirits dance beside them. Spectral silhouettes phasing in and out of existence, becoming more visible the more intense the music grew. It looks like a bizarre ritual, a profane mass. I notice it's the voice samples the ghosts react to the strongest, the most suggestive ones, causing them to appear disordered, even tormented. A spectral. It's as if something was struggling to be born out of the harsh sounds, and the dead were hoping to be reborn alongside it. They're all uneasy, quivering with desire for something far beyond their reach, probably the same as when they were alive. Foolish people, living their lives, dying. Bah. Sometimes the living dancers spot their dead counterparts. It's usually the most manic ones who notice something out of the corner of their eye, but only for a split second. They never realise what they've glimpsed. Some apparitions dance to a completely different tune than the rest of us. Ones only they can hear. They seem the saddest. The spectacle is eerie, and at times it's unbearably melancholic. Above all, it's beautiful. keep on moving to the rhythm until I reach a trance-like state. And something even stranger happens. Every now and then, when I brush against someone, a fragmentary vision appears before my eyes. A car burning on a freeway, an outstretched hand in the depths of the sea, a man jumping out of a skyscraper window. Are you seeing how they're meant to die? No memories of the past? Preventable visions of the future? I have no idea what it means, but I'm strangely eager to find out. Oh. Something, love, night call. Who is this? And then, there are dancers like her. Ones that aren't ghosts, humans, or even vampires, but something else altogether. This new world is full of mysteries, and I plan to get to the bottom of them all. So you're still an investigative journalist, even if you don't publish, or an investigator now, I guess. But for now, I just want to dance. Oh. Alright, I guess we need to feed. So, Tinder or Bushy Destroyer? Let's try and keep our humanity. Meathead Berlina's unfortunate victim. I probably shouldn't interfere, but what better chance could I find to test what I've become? There's a crown in the background. Interesting. Alright. Retributive justice. Two men are facing each other in a dark back alley. One of them stands with the back against the wall. He's just heaving as he's struggling to catch his breath. People! Anybody out there? I'm being robbed! A brawny, rugged guy is yelling at metal staircases with a theatrical incredulity in his voice. With a lively step, he dances around an older man who's having trouble finding his footing. What is this bullshit? Oh, so now you can talk? Good, because I'm dying to hear what you did with my wallet, Holmes. Wallet? I have no idea what you're talking about. The man starts prancing around like a Muay Thai boxer. He's smiling, but his eyes send a clear message. You're cornered, buddy. Don't even try to pull a fast one on me. Come on, homeboy. You may be able to trick an average Joe on the street with your act, but a fighter recognizes a fighter. It's like an animal thing. It's an instinct thing. You've got some moves on you. You're like shit. You're like a black mamba, lightning fast reflexes. He starts shadowboxing for a moment. The man's definitely got energy to spare. However, I'm like a king cobra. You've met your match. Two apex predators now locked in battle. Oh, so you're seeing snakes? That'll explain some. Before he's able to finish, a sucker punch knocks the air right out of his lungs. The old man slides down the wall. Before he can let out a groan, he's interrupted by a brutal kick to the chest. That's what I'm talking about. A fighting spirit. Even when you're cornered. You punched him in the face. Or, I guess so with a sucker punch. It could be from anywhere. Oh. And then kicked him when he's down. Wow. What a fighter. I mean, I know in fights, you go for what you're meant, for what gets you the win. But you were all being poetic about it and stuff, man. Take a seat, eat, rest, collect your thoughts before you speak up again. Remember where you put my wallet now? I'm pretty sure you broke my rib. An eye for an eye, a rib for a ribbing. Biblical punishment. It's only fair, homie. Fair? At least admit this is a mugging. Wallet my ass. Still in denial? Okay. Let's say I had about $5,000 in there. Give me $6,000. I'll let you walk away relatively unharmed. So you admit it. Admit what? This is not about proper compensation. This is a robbery. Look, buddy, this is beginning to bore me. Unless you want me to go all Anderson Silva on your ass, give me what I want. Who has $6,000 on them? And indeed, who's Anderson Silva? Yeah, Anderson Silva.
Flying knee meeting your solar plexus. The man, the myth, the legend. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Thai boxing. Western boxing. Taekwondo. Yeah, I guess okay, you would have to distinguish it like that. Never really thought about it. I just called it boxing. But yeah, Western boxing. Makes sense. Taekwondo, Wing Chun, and Capoeira combined into a single fighting style that can only be described as straight-up murder. I've been studying the glorious singularity that is Anderson Silva for years. Every move I have, I owe to him. So you don't want this chick to turn into a deadly spider. Snake, not shake. Show me the money, honey. Summer 2013, Las Vegas? Huh? Watched it live, on pay-per-view. Weird saw through Silver Streak. Whooped his ass, broke his spirit, showed him for the 40 years. Man hasn't been the same ever since. All that empty showboating, hollow taunting, drunk on his own Kool-Aid. Jesus, of course you idolize him, Marcel. For a good minute, the goon silently looks down at the whimpering man at his feet, chewing on his lower lip. When he finally speaks up, his voice betrays an intent to kill. You know what, homeboy? Screw the money. This is a matter of honor now. My thoughts exactly. Ha! He raises his fist. We've got ourselves a mixed martial arts expert here, huh? For your own sake, I hope you back that talk up with some self-defense skills, homie. That's enough. This is pathetic. Take a chill pill. I don't carry £6 on me, strangely enough. I'm very sorry. I mean, maybe if they accept Cthulhu coin, that's worth £6. Maybe. I mean, I don't carry it with me. It's just sitting here on my desk. Incidentally, I got 2 other coins. Let's show them off while we're here. You know what? And it's time for the setting that I've called DeMille, which is close up. So why not? I'll show these off while we're here. This is the Necromancer coin. As you can see, that is heads, because that kind of looks like a head. On that side is just lots of weird patterns. They're called tails. All up to me at this point. I'll pass out. Well, don't pass out before you've seen the exciting dragon coin. Rah! Eh. The things you buy when you need to make up shipping. Ooh and ah, indeed. Ooh ah. Now I will never be without coins if I need, you know, to show off a weird coin. I have 3 of them. How exciting. And if you're going, thanks very much for being here. I do appreciate it, as I say every time, but, you know, if you've got to pass out, you pass out. I, on the other hand, will call somebody pathetic. This is pathetic. Boosting your self-esteem by beating up an injured old geezer? God damn, you're pathetic. He jumps at the sound of my voice, turns my way in the blink of an eye, and immediately assumes a combat stance. His reflexes are sharp. Looks like he has at least this much to back up all his bravado. Not bravado? I guess so. Wannabe Anderson Silva's face betrays utter confusion upon seeing me. He's got no idea how I managed to sneak up on him. I don't blame him. I won't be able to explain it myself. Vampire powers. It felt like I became one with the darkness, my pure consciousness traversing a dusky dreamscape, jumping from one shadow to another, as if they were different trains of thought. I think of some experiences I've had with psychedelics, every blink an adventure. I was outside of this alley. Blink. I was above the alley. Blink. Now I'm in front of this guy. And he pisses me off. The older man slumps down. Looks like he was trying his best to keep it together and gave up once the cavalry arrived. Cool. The goon regains his composure and barks at me in an overly gruff way. The hell you sneaking around here for, chica? Move along. This is between men. Grrr. Not anymore. He first turns towards me. I'm serious. And an equal opportunity ass kicker. I mean, I applaud you for being equal opportunity, but, you know. I respond to the threat with the brightest, most innocent, virginal smile I can put on. So you're into shadowboxing, huh? I'm a shadow. Something comes over me. I can feel the darkness embracing me, whispering sweet nothings in my ear, pumping me up for what's to come. Reverse elbow, crane kick, low spinning sweep. Also, you remind me of my coins of wonder, Kickstarter backing, and the coins that I never looked at. Did you ever actually get them? Oh, it's still my face and not the game, sorry. There we go. I mean, you got to see all my reactions, but I mean, you didn't miss anything. Let's knock him off. Let's sweep him off his feet. To begin with, eh? Low spinning sweep. I've always wanted to try this. I zoom in, dug below his fist, and sweep him off his feet with a powerful roundhouse kick. That is not... Well, alright, maybe it is. Probably the dumbest, flashiest thing I could have done, but I'm feeling more confident than ever. He flies into the air, only managing not to fall because of the wall behind him. I know what he's thinking. I should have blocked it. And he absolutely should have. But instead, he just flailed his arms helplessly, as if he suddenly found himself in front of an oncoming train. A primal expression of fear that suddenly and completely took him over. I don't know how I look right now, but judging by his expression, my best guess is like gaping more of some primordial beast. I guess that's it. Didn't get to follow up the surprise attack with another punch to the solar plexus, or at least my nearest estimate. Once again, the effect terrifies even myself. Looks like my hunch was correct, and I hit the right spot. He falls onto the floor, whining like a wounded animal, tears streaming down his face. I let him collect himself a bit, and then grab him by his chin. Learn to choose your battles, homeboy. Let me go, let me go, for Christ's sake, just let me go. I kick him in the direction of the alley entrance. He staggers off quickly, disappearing from my sight. Really? You don't want to feed on him? Check on his victim. Looks like he's conscious. Wow, you whooped his ass, girl. Hasn't noticed anything out of order. Good. I was getting worried I might have overdone it a bit. That woman did say that keeping a low profile will be crucial if I want to survive. You alright? Need help? He manages to stand up. His smile is strained. He suggests he's fine, or at least trying his best to seem fine. Nope, you gave me all the help I needed, and then some. Thank you, miss. What's your name? Jessica. Hey, false identities. Sure, Jessica it is. Thanks, Jessica. I was worried for a second, but this asshole's bark was worse than his bite. He's probably in worse shape than me now. SS counts as a victory. I'd better be going. My wife is probably worried sick, but before that, if there's anything I could do to repay you... I don't particularly want to feed on you, but you know, maybe. Wallet, please. Where do we celebrate? Just be more careful. I want something out of this. I don't want the wallet. So where are we going to celebrate? You going to buy me a drink? Or something? Or something else? Oh, to celebrate tonight. Where would you go if you were me? Oh, I'm just getting information, am I? Celebrate, huh? First thing that comes to your mind. I want to feel alive. Times Square? Alright. Times Square, jeez. Get the fuck out of here with that tourist bullshit. Came here a few weeks ago myself. Still haven't managed to see it. And I always wanted to. In the movies, it always seemed so full of life. So... not so full of life at this time of the night. Not that interesting in general. Though, I think you helped me come up with an idea. I'm pretty sure I've been to Times Square. I mean, I have been to New York, and I did some touristy things while I was there. Took in a couple of baseball games at the Mets. Jets? I'm gonna have to look at my hat, which has it on there. Can't remember. I mean, this was a good few years ago. And yeah, I believe we went to Times Square as well. Went there with friends. It was a good time, but anyway. What I did we come up with. Glad to hear it. Take care, will you? You too. Avoid shady spots. Shady spots. Next time, I probably won't be able to bail you out. There he goes. Avoid shady spots, huh? And I no longer have to abide by my own advice. No more worrying about being out after midnight. No more feeling uneasy whenever I spot a shady arsehole across the street. Ever. Hell, I can start jogging in Central Park after midnight now. Not that I need to. The future's looking bright. Oh, we're up here. Alright. Wow. What a night. We don't get to go to the Tinder place. Alright. Watch Times Square from above. It's beautiful. So despite everything, you still came to Times Square. Never thought this place could make me emotional, to be honest. But here I am, feeling deeply moved. Who would have thought? That one guy I saved from a beatdown will probably get bored of this place 5 minutes after an obligatory selfie. Well, I guess my enjoyment of these sites depends a great deal on perspective. In any case, I'm glad he gave me the idea. Getting up here was surprisingly easy, all things considered. It took more thought than physical effort. Earlier tonight, I started experimenting with this body's limits. I realized I can jump over small buildings and climb steep walls with ease now, and my whole perception of space has shifted. I planned a scenic route across the rooftops, did my best to avoid attracting attention, just as I was told. Stayed in the shadows as much as humanly possible. I spot a drone from afar. For a second I feel uneasy, but I remember what she told me. Machines won't get a clear view of me anymore. Camera footage, photos, it's all glitched out or blurry. I mean, that is good to know in this increasingly technological age that vampire powers, which were not being reflected by mirrors, now work on technology. I believe the origin of the myth, though I could be wrong, is that mirrors were backed with silver in the old days, and that silver was a component that could kill them, so they weren't reflected by it. Could be wrong, but hey. Something in the palm of your hand. I don't know what that is in the palm of your hand that's on the bottom there. Now we've got a drink. On Ordansky.com. Oh, is that the world? Is that the world that you're craving in the palms of your hands? Not just the single one. Alright, well, onwards. Wouldn't take it for granted if I didn't try to catch my reflection earlier on. I couldn't see my face clearly, not in the mirror, not even in a puddle. My face was like one of Dali's clocks. So how do you... I guess you could get an artist to paint your face, but I guess that's the closest you could come right now. She told me to keep a low profile regardless. Someone might take note and track you down. She didn't care to elaborate, but it didn't sound encouraging. Suddenly, it hits me. Suddenly it hits me that I might not ever be able to see my own face again. Won't even be able to take care of my looks by myself. What about the long-term psychological effects? A lot of anxiety tightens in my stomach. Jesus, this is probably just the tip of the iceberg. What else is going to change? I mean, you've drastically changed your fashion. You've left BBB. You've decided that you can take on bravados, and go up to the top of places to see things. Calm down. Wait a second. These past few nights have been the best of my life. For years I was on a downward spiral. Failing health, no future, a feeling of overwhelming powerlessness.
How is your health failing? Alright. Now everything has been flipped upside down. Total paradigm shift. A bad ending is no longer the only option. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow. I forgot how that feels. Where it used to stand at mere seconds to midnight, the doomsday clock has been effectively turned off. I mean, if humanity dies, can you live on pig blood, etc.? Or whatever is made in the Holocaust, in the nuclear Holocaust, or whatever wasteland comes next. A cold breeze. Excuse me. A cold breeze brushes my cheek. Stupid as it sounds, I choose to read it as the world telling me to chin up. I can bend anybody to my will. I am capable of superhuman strength. I'm a master of shadows. I mean, you're also at the bottom of the food chain with regard to vampires. You're at the top of the food chain regarding everything else, but of the vampires, you are at the bottom, or the kindred. I can do anything. Tomorrow night I will be introduced to my duties. If everything goes according to plan, I will become a New York representative of Clan Lasambo. Okay, and what's that? Oh, Clan is what, not Lasambo. They're not going to tell me that. Clan, a vampire's family tree, specifically those sharing common blood. Blood, 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 as Sherlock said. Imagine everyone who is your blood relative. Everyone you can picture gathered around the table at Christmas, all sharing the same strengths and afflictions. Might be harder to visualize when you come from a big family, but you're probably only picturing a dozen people maximum. There are hundreds of vampires in any given clan, maybe more. Only hundreds. Okay. I mean, there are billions of us, and there are only hundreds in each clan. Alright. Anyway, whoever they are, whatever that means, I have no idea what to expect from this clan. But tonight is tonight. I'm free. All my worries from a month ago feel like they belong to someone else. Finally, things are looking up, and we got the achievement, a celebration of power. Now, I guess where are you holding up? March 2020. Oh, that skipped a large chunk. I would like to have known more about this clan, or at least what your powers and weaknesses are. But here we are. We're back at PvP. Damn it! Stop falling back into old habits. You're not meant to be recognised. Back at it again at Big Beat Burger. Familiar sounds, familiar smells, familiar faces. Yet again, I'm recalling that night when everything finally seemed to change for the better. Oh, okay, so you're not actually there, you were just remembering it. That's fine. I mean, it's not like I wasn't expecting everything to go back to the old depressing normal. Even in the thick of it, the rational part of me recognizes my state as temporary. No smoking, and yet there you are, smoking away. Just doesn't apply to you. Maybe you are in the Big Beat Burger? But with these eyes, there's always hope it won't end. Or maybe that's an ego death. Or maybe that an ego death will finally occur. Be satisfied, you stupid fucking bitch. I command you. Here's all the logical evidence for why you should be satisfied. Here's the obvious direction for your life. And here's a detailed explanation of how you should treat the people that care for you. It's not that easy. No dice. I always fall back into the same old habits. It's like they were encoded deep in my DNA. The aimlessness, the powerlessness, the spiritual exhaustion. Those goddamn fast food trips. This stupid fucking self-loathing. Now amplified whenever I drink somebody's blood. Maybe I should just blame it all on the misfortune of my birth. You do this social climbing until you dissociate, and then, just this untethered, constantly frustrated ball of dumb desires, who can't even pronounce the words that are in front of them. Except, I'm sort of immortal right now, and I need to figure out what to do next. I watched this obscure Asian movie once, Eli Lama Shabashina? Starring Tevadunu Asano. One of the coolest guys in the world. He plays this Merzbow-like figure. Merzbow-like figure, a legendary noise musician. It's this mysterious virus spreading around the world, causing despair and mass suicides. A rich CEO's granddaughter gets sick and longs to die, so he spends a fortune searching for the cure. Turns out Asano and his friends, played by this violent on-seagation guy, are travelling through Japan, searching the corpse-strewn towns and fields for any unique item that can produce beautiful sounds. As it turns out, the avant-garde walls of noise they create are able to heal the infected. Ooh. Permanently or temporarily? I guess heal. So yeah, the CEO begs the band to help, offering them all the money they want, but for some reason they refuse. Through a series of flashback concerts and yet a mystery unfolds. Eventually we realise that Asano's music is not just a remedy, it's also a cause of the virus. Whenever it connects with people, you get this hunger for more extreme, more novel experiences. Okay? And eventually, they hit a wall. Nothing can satisfy them anymore. They lose their will to live. Not even the musicians are spared from this curse. No, the end will come, sooner or later. Well then stop producing the music! The girl is saved by a mind-blowing concert, but the tragedy is merely postponed, not averted. The last shot of a Jesus-like Asano, constantly, silently considering his role as saviour and destroyer, stayed with me. Yeah, that is interesting. The form of the film is abrasive, little to no narrative coherence, some weird cartoonish creative choices, the Japanese noise soundtrack, the very freeform and hard to understand weave of themes. But at this point, movies like this are all that truly connect with me. I'm the New York City representative of the Lambrasa clan, now also known as the Night Clan. They are masters of the shadows, who cast distorted reflections and make modern tech go haywire in their presence. Oh, okay. So that's just yours. Clan Lambrasco. That's us, the Night Clan. Other kindred call us Magistars, Abyss Mystics, or Turncoats, if they want to drive home the fact that Lambrasco switched sex in recent years. La Sombro, sorry. I can't tell the story. We used to be the brains behind the Sabbat, a pretty nasty group working the opposition to the Camarilla. They since left for the Middle East for the most part, but a sizable chunk of my clan opted out and changed side. Traditionally, we were entrenched in the Catholic Church back in Europe, but not for mystical reasons. Our path was that of coercion and puppetry, so pulling the strings of important religious leaders was just a means to an end. Night Clan is also borderline Darwinian in their philosophy about embracing new members. The shittiest period of my life was fully orchestrated by Karen in order to see if I was a good La Sombro material. I'm going to keep calling it Lambrasca. They do not care for losers who just take it lying down. Then there's the dark. I'm still coming to grips with it, but apparently shadows aren't just absences of light to us. They're openings into some kind of hell. We can wield them, even use them to contact the dead. The downside? We share a classic vampire feature, in that we don't really have clear reflections. This also transfers to not playing well with cameras, and by extension, having issues dealing with technology in general. Okay. A new dictionary. Last year, a few months before I was embraced, La Sombra had joined with the Camarilla, the biggest and most traditional sect in the vampire world. The two groups actually used to fight each other, but our leaders found some intel that made them reconsider their strategy, so they sent a diplomatic mission to parley with their historical enemies. I wonder what they found. The deal they got in Chicago was simple: an unlife for an unlife. For every La Sombra vampire allowed in the Ivory Tower, one La Sombra vampire has to meet their ultimate end. Oh. Alright, and what are these new things? Sect. Oh, the Ivory Tower. Another name for the Camarilla. Usually used in less official, occasionally derogatory contexts. Alright, and a sect. Group of vampires tied not by lineage, but by ideology. Two most notable examples are the Anarchs and the Camarilla. Unsurprisingly, these two are in direct opposition and drifting further apart all the time. God damn it, I just looked at the dictionary.
I still remember the name of the woman who met her final death so I could begin my unlife. Her name was Hester Reed, sworn enemy of the Camarilla, a guerrilla fighter who spent decades opposing them. Why did... Okay. She was someone with far better principles than mine, from what I've gathered. Well, whoever she was, her execution by my sire served to convince the NYC elites to give us La Sombra a chance. Then they set out to look for a mutually agreed upon candidate who had become the clan's rep in the city. So are you the only one in the city? The sire searched for someone who gave the impression she was more than she appeared. The local court was looking for someone they could walk all over. After long negotiations, they decided I was a good compromise. Court. Kindred hierarchy of rule. Basically, feudalism by another name. You have a prince at the top, primogenitor beneath him, or her, a sheriff who also answers to the brief, prince, and so on. Those are handled at secret sanctuaries called Elysiums. Note, the structure applies at the city level. Beyond that, the Camarilla's organization gets absurdly Byzantine. Final death. Death for mortals is defined as total cessation of all biological activities. But vampires, being undead, face two moments of death. First, when their mortal life ends, and the second, final one, when they truly cease to exist, usually involving rapid decomposition of the body, up to and including turning to dust if you're old enough, as if time has finally caught up with you. They proceeded to systematically destroy my life. Or systemically. Just enough to show I was psychologically strong enough to join their ranks. Turncoat special, they called it. Somehow. I succeeded. I mean, I didn't the first time, because I chose not to shoot. Not to become the monster they wanted of me. And it eventually led me right back to where I started. The same guy sitting there trying to put the same piece of food in his mouth. I stopped writing and put my pen down. Will that be all? Why are you dressed up like this? Or is this your Elysium? I was imagining you were going to be a worker here, but that can't be, not dressed up like this. Yes, Mr. Vowel, hope you enjoy your stay in London. Oh, I very much doubt I will. Just like every other cultured person. I think the only good Englishman is a dead Englishman. I mean... Fucked up serial killer, privileged scum. Just get the hell out. Fucked up serial killer. At least you're headed there to kill some of the dustborn you hate so much. One of the benefits of being a scourge. There's one thing this world is never in shortage of. It's loathsome runoffs who forfeited their right to live. Scourge. An unpleasant person whose sole task is to hunt down vampires who are born wrong. Luckily, that mostly means thin bloods, subordinated directly to the prince. Oh, so she's as high as a sheriff. Interesting. And thin bloods, clanless vampires whose blood is so diluted they are difficult to tell apart from humans, minus the irreversible sunlight-branded crescent moon tattoos must bear in some domain to show their status. Thin bloods have been subjected to decades of pogroms, prejudice, and discrimination, but despite that, their numbers are currently growing. Their human passing appearance, coupled with their penchant for weird alchemy-style shenanigans, gives them the ability to thrive outside of kindred society. Bigotry and violence against thin bloods are quite normalized by the kindred, to the point where it is not at all uncommon to hear of them being killed or referred to as a threat to the masquerade. Funnily enough, the New York City Camarilla acknowledges them and even offers them membership, but they're third-class citizens at best, and their representative in the Primogen is considered the butt of jokes at best and a slap at the face of other council members at worst, even though they supposedly have it better in this city than in other Camarilla domains. When they step out of line, consciously or not, the verdict tends to be final death, barely a second thought. sometimes referred to as weaklings or runoffs. Less vitriolic names would include young ones, chameleons, or the Duskborn. Alright. That will be all. Tell Quadir I said hello and farewell. Safe travels. Don't let the door hit you on your way out, Psycho. Ah, well. I'm the lone Sombra in this town. My representational role means jack shit. No title, no perks, no whatever. Right now, I'm the court scoffer, doing all sorts of work nobody else will touch. My main duties? Being a sort of immigration officer. See, New York City is probably the biggest vampire travel hub in the USA. Definitely the biggest one on the East Coast. Almost every kindred arriving from Africa and Europe comes through here. The local Camarilla is nuts about bureaucracy and population control, so every vampire leaving or arriving in this town is supposed to check with me to inform me about their travels. Well, in theory at least. The VIPs play by different rules. They take care of this stuff through connections and servants. But for the smaller fish, I'm like a vampire Statue of Liberty. The first bloodsucker ever every kindred coming to New York should see. On paper, anyway. That's interesting. I mean, I would have thought somebody who reported directly to the prince was not a smaller fish. But okay. I guess maybe they needed to make it official. The first after the prince, Korea, the Primogen Council. These things vary. Yeah, I'm a naturally traitorous La Sombra, but I still prefer being traditional and hands-on about these things. As I said, at the end of the day, I'm just a gopher. This work only serves to remind me I'm not quite in, just standing at the gate. And the Primogen Council, the prince's advisors, usually elders, though mostly the younger so-called ancilla in New York City, who represent the interests of the local kindred. Traditionally, each major clan, faction, or sect would be given a place on the council. The framework naturally favours the Camarilla, even though anyone can bring grievances to a Primogen, not of their own clan. There are a few other rules governing who can become a Primogen, but recent decades have seen old paradigms rapidly shifting. Locally, Prince Panham asks the council's advice often. It's no secret that she mostly uses the Primogen to confirm a course of action she's already made her mind up about. Prince, where the buck stops, the big boss of a given domain, usually a city. These are the kindred you don't want to cross, those who have secured and held their claim against all other contenders. Prince is a gender-neutral title for vampires, hence New York's head honcho, Helena Panhard, also calls herself that. There we go. All this reading, I need a drink, not drinking. They haven't even given me an office. I just meet everyone in public places, such as coffee shops or this fast food restaurant. Some consider this an insult and lash out at me, but luckily most of them understand we're in the same boat. We're only here because we're curs who need to be reminded of our place from time to time. Speaking of, our last client is 15 minutes late, and I still have more errands to run tonight. This is getting irritating. To be honest, I should just find some self-respect and leave. But I won't. My sorry upbringing left me with this stupid sense of responsibility. 10 more minutes pass. Eventually, an unfamiliar woman appears by the door. She tells someone to stand by the door and walks in. Mysterious. Your eyes are slightly glowing. Maybe you are? Long chestnut hair, body stuck in her late teens, by the look of it. A fashionable scarf covering most of her face, elegant clothes, dignified walk. This is probably her. I signal her to sit in front of me. Try my best not to let my impatience show. She obliges. Let's not say, hey, you took your time. Let's go with, you here to check in?
here to check in? I am. Julia Sawinski, I presume? She's scanning her surroundings like we're at a circus. I mean, why am I sticking with my old name if I'm not meant to be recognized by other people from my old life? Go with a new name. I mean, it's only one thing that you've changed about yourself, but name, haircut, put new eye colour, clothes and fashion sense. You go to different places rather than where you were before, but yeah. Why would you do that? Yeah. Alright. Dictionary updated. I hope you won't mind if I make it quick. I'm needed in Elysium. Name? Catherine Wise. Huh. I swear I've heard that name before. Someone else's description of her crosses my mind. That weird lady who owns the art hall but is never there? Weird. So it is, Catherine Wise, the owner of the art hall, de facto headquarters of the New York City Camarilla. For fuck's sake, Julia. What are you doing calling her weird right off the bat? God knows you've already made a fool of yourself in front of enough VIPs in this city. Recover. I'm sorry. It's just that I still don't know many people there. I have to go by the description I'm given by members of the Primogen. Ooh, throwing them in it. Well, the description is mostly correct. Aside of that one word that slightly perplexes me. What calling the kettle black sounds like. I mean, yeah. Own it. Embrace it. Oh, from what I gathered, it's just that your interests are rumored to be, not fully aligned with the Camarillas? And it irks some folks up there? Being a keeper of the Elysium is not enough for some, I see. I suspected as much, but what can you do? She seems chill. Good. Anyway, Catherine Wise. Wow. Yes. Want me to spell it? People often have trouble getting it right. Forgive my indiscretion, it's just that people of your stature usually don't bother checking in with me. They usually report their arrival to one of the Primogens and they make all the arrangements. I've heard Prince Fanhard is busy with preparations for her big party. I assume that if I spared her some paperwork, she'd appreciate it as a gesture of goodwill. I mean, only if she knows that's what you're doing. Besides, I wanted to meet the infamous La Sombra representative out of sheer curiosity. My interest peaked once I heard about her. I mean, I am surprised that more VIPs do not come to see the gawk at the token La Sombra. She looks around knowingly. Unique circumstances. Oh, right. That was a continuation. Yes, Prince Helena Fanhard had trouble justifying the exorbitant rent my property would need. That's literally pennies for her. And as far as I know, she's been sitting on an empty property since last year. Looks like they've got it out for you. Bad. Let's see what we got. Elysium. A courthouse for vampires, or a designated peaceful place where they can go to seek resolution. Often hidden in plain sight, in notable public buildings, also used by mortals, such as museums, art galleries, and landmark government offices. NYC is pretty typical in this respect. The current Elysium is a gallery in Queens called the Art Hall. Surprised it's open late at night, but anyway. I guess New York, the city that never sleeps. That's what I assumed. It's nice to get a confirmation. Well, it's not like the clan has ever been particularly popular in these parts. At least, that's what I've heard. Sins of the fathers and so on. Yes, just to make sure, you never met Hessler, but you know of her? I do know I wouldn't be here if not for her. Have you two met? No, I only heard of her once or twice. We had similar outlooks on many issues. Though we tend to come up with completely different solutions. In any case, I think it's meaningful that Hessler died so that you could live. They feared her, now they fear you. That's why they're keeping you down. Why do they fear me? If anyone who's not a VIP said this to me, I'd laugh in their face. I get what she's doing. She's trying to buy my favors. Maybe. But maybe not. Flattery isn't great, but hey, best not to act like I'm easy to please. Stick to business. Time will tell. In the meantime, I'll need you to help me out with my documentation. Of course. So, where are you coming from? Washington, D.C.
This isn't the way people in Hollywood movies say it. The way that suggests how Washington is wildly different from the Washington you and I would see. What were you doing there? Take a guess. I'm guessing you weren't embracing someone. Maybe you were. Maybe you... No, you couldn't embrace a senator. So manipulating somebody there. Government work? Write that down. Or do you amuse Helena a little bit? Do you say so? Date and hour of arrival. She takes out a plane ticket and slides it towards me. It's all here. 1 AM. Got it. Method of transit, plane. Purpose of visit. Meeting with Prince. Ought to work just fine. I guess. Estimated duration of visit? Undefined. Right in 6 months if you really need to. Place of accommodation? Conditions of intended stay? The outhole. Conditions should be adequate. You tell me. And be happy with Airbnb. Home sweet home. I'm not certain that I ever felt particularly at home here. That makes 2 of us. Curious. You have nothing holding you here? The face of a blonde-haired friend appears in my mind's eye, then vanishes. We're not talking about the person at the dance, are we? Or somebody we're trying to protect from our old life? There's nothing holding me anywhere. I see. Prolonged silence. She stares into my eyes, and I return the stare. She's studying me. It's unnerving, but I do my best not to turn away. Eventually, she smiles. Didn't you say you were short on time? Oh god, yes. Quite an hour will kill me. Quickly leave a lane to collect my stuff underneath the table. You can simply inform him I paid you a visit. He'll understand, and I'll pass it on to everyone who should be in the know. Hey, yeah, that works. I'm not going to say you're a big deal, huh? Because that's silly. But I'll do that, yeah. Thanks. I'll tacitly acknowledge your thing without asking you if you need more help. Sure thing. Good. We'll see each other soon, I hope. The party tomorrow night? I wasn't invited. So am I your +1 now? She gives me a pitying look. I understand. Well, if I'm not given the opportunity, we should make our own. I'll be in touch. Oh well. Good night, Miss Wise. I wish you a pleasant stay. Good night. I don't rush these things. You've got your whole unlife ahead of you, and you're in a position where you can take it easy. Make your time, get a different perspective. I nod and walk slowly out the door. When I lose sight of the restaurant, I sprint towards the subway. Slow night? I wish. You're late again, by the way. I hope you have a good excuse, says Kadir. Hello. Kadir Al-Asma, the mighty sheriff of New York City. I'm not happy with me. No wonder. I met him in front of Elysium 30 times. Oh, no wonder. I met him in front of Elysium 30 minutes later than the time we'd agreed on. I mean, your person was 25 minutes late, so you would have been here 5 minutes early, so good for you. Yeah, well, Catherine fucking Weiss decided to arrive fashionably late. A likely story. She's supposed to be out of the city. If you think I'm pulling your leg, boss, feel free to check my report. Pass him all of the official papers, the way I do every other night. He stares me down for a good few seconds. Then his steely gaze softens. You're serious? Why is in McDonald's? With the mask and the elegant clothes, surrounded by the smell of French fries and hamburger patties? Must have been one hell of a sight. Well, no, she wasn't in McDonald's. Product placement from McDonald's. She was in Big Best Burgers, Big Bean Burgers, Big Something Burgers, whatever it was. The Trapeze. Technically, it was BBB, not McDonald's. Exactly. But yeah, God, I made such a fool of myself. First thing I did, I quoted somebody calling her a weirdo. I wanted to die on the spot. I mean, not the final death, but you know what I mean. Serves you right, you walking faux pas. I've been trying to teach you to control your tongue, but you never learn. It's a new gaffe every week from you. Still,
There's good news and bad news. The good news is, Catherine has a fondness for vampires of humble beginnings. Probably why she decided to see you in your, shall we say, natural habitat. She's one of those rich, artsy assholes who seek out the working class cred. I did say something about watching your tongue. The bad news is, she's very astute, so she can recognize a moron like you straight away. You never stood a chance at impressing her. Oh, shut up. You still need me for anything here. Now get on it straight away. Wouldn't be standing out here chatting with you if I hadn't taken care of my duties. 30 minutes is all it took to finish preparations for the big party. I'm about to see everyone off. Sorry. Couldn't be helped, I suppose. And it's more your loss than mine. Just wanted some company tonight. You could really use the chance to appear on official duties so everyone can get to know your face. Heaven knows your fast food job isn't going to get you anywhere. Well played. You need to, what do they call it? Hustle. You don't need to tell me that, but it's not like being paraded around for a bunch of blue blood douchebags is. He somehow manages to give me a painful nudge in the back without so much as a hint of visible movement. Language, you fool. They're coming out. Just stand here in silence for 5 minutes. Focus on not embarrassing yourself any further, will you? I mean, the fact that you only have 2 dots there and there's extra spaces under the focus, that is definitely 2 spaces, means... I don't know. They haven't corrected this in, I think it's been out over a year, so... Disc. Got it. First 2 silhouettes appear in the doorway of the art hall. An old man in a wheelchair pushed forward by his young servant. I haven't seen either of them before. Mr. Payne, the night is still young. Hope you find the rest of it pleasant. Max? Max Payne? Payne. Wheelchair, I've heard about him. Addison Payne, not Max. One of the American Camarilla's main connections to the government and Wall Street. Disabled in quite a few ways, needs a servant to communicate. I'd be full of resentment if I was embraced in this condition, but apparently Payne is nothing but grateful for his mortality. He keeps writing fervent defences of the traditions and Camarilla customs. We were told to keep our mouths shut and stay there, so we'll stay silent. At least with this guy. Wordlessly shakes Kiddy's hand, but doesn't even deign to acknowledge me. At least this servant gives me a small bow. I return it. They leave. Kiddy turns to the next person leaving. High Regent, can't wait to see you in your outfit. Aisling Sturbridge. Spare me, Sheriff. These fancy dress parties cause me enough suffering without your help. I can only hope you haven't conspired with Helene to embarrass me with this gift. She points to a shrink-wrapped set of clothes she's carrying inside her coat. Nia smirks briefly. I didn't have to, as well you know. Prince Panhans displays a considerable foresight in the matter of party planning. Yes, if there's one thing she's deathly serious about, it's frivolities. Not deadly serious, but deathly. Alright. A recognizable mortal quality, especially for us, Prince. You want to celebrate it, not oppose it. Don't worry, Sheriff. I'm a big girl and knows her etiquette. I will play your game, amuse the crowd a little bit, and return to my study as fast as possible. Aisling Sturbridge, High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, a hero of the Battle of New York, biggest warlock in town. Could be a prince herself if she didn't have her eyes on a bigger prize. Now, these are the ones who can do actual magic, aren't they? Oh, Sheriff we haven't read as well. Clan Tremere. Named after the 8th century hermetic mage, whose followers, for a brief period, terrorized the world. Those of Clan Tremere, today, are only able to practice their reality-bending thaumaturgy arts after consuming fresh blood. This is because the Tremere of old fucked up in their relentless pursuit of immortality and were condemned. They have recently fallen into a grand schism
of competing houses, all vying for the title of rightful heir to their namesake's legacy. All about that rare ancient artifact life. Nicknames include warlocks, hermetics, or transgressors. Chantry, where the Tremere hang out. A lot of crusty books and smoking beakers type of place, I imagine. Region, the principals at the schoolhouses of the Tremere, also known as chantries. Every chantry has a regent who oversees the education of all Tremere in attendance there. Regents may also hold positions on the primate clans, and may be active in the clan's strategic defense. Sheriff, an appointed officer who enforces the prince's edicts, and if Kadir is any measure, a real stick in the mud. Sheriff hunts down traitors and violators of the tradition. Only the greatest offenders are typically apprehended and brought back to be judged in front of an assembled court. In lesser cases, sheriffs act as judge, jury, and executioner. Anyway, let's find out who the rest of these people coming out is. The thing is, nobody knows what that prize is. They only know it has something to do with the goal of a thaumaturgical research. Whoever tried to find out what it was, failed. Violently. Well, I'm just a journalist to try. I mean, I'm not. Anyway. Oh, I'm sure you're going to have fun, Ms. Sawinski. I'm sure you're going to have fun. Ms. Sawinski here has just informed me Catherine Weiss is back in town. It's safe to assume she will join our festivities. You're kidding me. She said she will attend the party. She didn't send her regards to anybody, and, you know, telling people that she is sending them her regards might give the wrong signal. It's not safe to assume, it's certain. She told me she will be here tomorrow night. Oh, it's not safe to assume, it's certain. Wise, excellent. I'd love to catch up with her. The barely concealed venom in her voice suggests clearly that, in fact, she'd hate to catch up with her. Yes, it looks like tomorrow night will be a very special, but for now, I bid you adieu. And she's gone. Is there some kind of story between Aisling and Wise that I should be aware of? You could say that. High Regent Strowbridge once attempted to call for a blood hunt on Wise. Wow, why? I've heard 5 different versions of the story, and all of them seem plausible. Catherine's relationship with the city is odd, to say the least, but hush for now. He's obviously trying to kill the conversation, and the appearance of Thomas Arturo gives him the perfect way out. Mr. Arturo. Ah, Alice me. Keep up the good work, eh? The glasses have got to be an affectation, right? You don't need glasses when... Well, maybe you do still need them, because the guy who was suffering from all of those things in the wheelchair still needed it, so he wasn't brought back to perfect health. So, I don't know. Of course. Thomas Arturo, an architect by trade, he's a herald, a member of the Prince Panhard's inner circle, an eccentric whose thoughts seem to be 10 times faster than his words. Draw no attention. I mean, because I am not saying goodnight because I didn't want to draw attention to myself. I wanted to be silent, but now I'm realizing that I'm being silent because the sheriff told me to, and they look down on me. I'm not going to say take care on your way home, because if they are then attacked, it sounds as if I might have been trying to warn them, or I might have been, saying, take care on your way home. I hope nothing bad happens to you. So, we are going to say something. We're just going to say goodnight. Good night, Mr. Arturo. Ah, yes. He disappears into the night. Well, that was brief. I mean, I'm not surprised. Maybe I should stand in their way. That might force them to properly acknowledge my existence. No, it wouldn't. You severely underestimate their dedication to ignoring whelps like you. Got a couple there. Whelp. Not much different than the archaic human usage. Whelp is how you refer to your kid when they're fucking up. Thea loves to use it to put me down from time to time. Harpy. I didn't see that one. A kindred gossip master extraordinaire will often trade their wisdom for favours or political gain, while harpy originated as an insult. Some have taken the term back and wear it as a badge of pride. After all, who doesn't need a friend who has dirt on everyone? On Blood Hunt, our punishment, sentencing a vampire to final death at the fangs of their peers. Code of the kindred in the system for punishing transgressions is the law of retaliation. And just in case you're serious, I beg of you, don't. I've been meaning to ask you this for a while now. I never had the opportunity. You really hate Arturo's guts, don't you? He carefully measures a diplomatic response. I have no strong feelings about Thomas Arturo whatsoever. Yeah, well, considering you're always listing positives about every local Camarilla representative under the moon, you might as well have called him a cunt. Language, well. And as for Arturo, I will share my opinion about him as soon as I come up with one that sticks for more than a week. A group of kindred emerge from the art hall, rushing towards the street. Only a noble-looking woman stops next to us. She's wearing a hijab, but curious enough, doesn't hide her hair beneath it. Primogen. If you were rude enough to stare, you'd quickly notice that the cloth serves mostly to cover up her horrifying scars. Kadir, oh, and young Julia. I'm doing my best not to stare because Samira is one of the few New York Camarilla figures who hasn't been an asshole to me. Yet. Still here? Did the prince require the clan of the Hunts Council on some matter? Now that is one that I don't know. Clan Banu Hakim. The Banu Hakim, called Assamites in the past, but that's basically a slur at this point, are a new addition to the Camarilla, only having joined a few years before. Before that, they were independent from both the Cams and the Anarchs. They were used as assassins for hire. Supposed to be very good at that job too. Nowadays, it looks to me like they've rebranded themselves as Keeper of the Law. That gives them occasional chance to hunt somebody down, but no longer for payment in blood, as used to be the tradition. Or at least, not overtly. One member of the clan that I know well, Samira, is pretty cagey about the aspect of the Banu Hakim. But I've learned from a few other sources that members of the clan have a bit of a drinking problem. Once they taste another kindred's blood, they find it hard to stop. Their inclusion to the Camarilla seems to have stirred some discontent among the Tremere, and the lawmen also use a form of blood sorcery to boost their abilities and observe different rituals, some of them clearly religiously motivated. Only a notable part of the fact that the clan has been traditionally tied to Islam and the Middle East in general. Okay. Yes, I advise her that no matter how hard she tries, she shouldn't expect me to wear a different costume tomorrow night. She's the Banu Hakim's Primogen, just like La Sombra. Their clan was independent from the Camarilla until relatively recently. However, they negotiated a better deal than we did. They have a Primogen for one. Hailing from the Middle East, the Banu Hakim are drawn practice of justice. Their rules must be upheld, and every transgression punished. Or the rules, not their rules. They don't have much say in New York City, but the prince often seeks their judgment. It's just good PR. I trust she was understanding. Those are beautiful clothes. Thank you so much. I'm eager to see the outfit you came up with. And how are you, Julia? Have you seen any lights at the end of the tunnel? I'm gonna, stick it and say, I'm not even invited. I don't care about the party. They haven't even invited me to the party tomorrow. Sorry to hear that. I trust you're pestering the prince and your superiors to improve your standing. It's a process, meaning I am not forceful at all. Why are your eyes back to that colour? Oh, Julia, you won't achieve anything if you don't keep reaching for it. Kadir, weren't you supposed to teach her the ropes? I'm trying to, Primogen, but with this child, it's always a process. Can only wish you good luck then. Good night, Julia. Good night, Kadir. Good night. Have a safe trip. The out hole has been almost empty by now. Huh, I'm just thinking. I mean, if these did exist in our sort of contemporary world, then the people
people maybe to embrace as the Lasombro might be streamers, seeing as they could never then be on camera again, and it would destroy their sense of identity. I mean, you are not your job, but when you do that for such a period of time, you can't help but get used to it. When you do anything for a period of time. So yeah. Interesting. Or I suppose film stars as well would be interesting to embrace. Or people who are on camera all the time. Or work with technology a lot. I don't think people behind the camera would be that great a grab. Anyway. You like her, don't you? Stop with your class clown act, whelp. It only serves to reveal deep insecurities. Wow, that's harsh. It's factual. Well, as harsh as you claim. She did tell us both to call her Samira, but you're still keeping your distance with that primogen thing. What's your profanity? Yeah, I didn't say shit. Well, it did say shit, but hey, I don't project your fantasies onto me. I won't give you a lesson about professional boundaries. But I suspect the way you will eventually learn it will be extremely unpleasant. Oh, Carter van der Weyden? Interrupting something, good folks? Even though I'm constantly pestering him, Carter's composure is unshaken. His response comes with swift and unfazed. Not at all, Mr. van der Weyden. Heading back to your office? You know me, my dear sheriff. Where else would I go? Now that's curious. Even though Carter van der Weyden is a primogen as well, Malkavian to be precise, I don't hear Kadir address him as such. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Oh, I will absolutely show up, provided I can. But just in case, I already apologize for not making it to the prince. Simply drowning in work these days. A Malkavian who can keep an office job. Or work and business, that's interesting. Rhythms, tempo, intonation patterns of the voice are so familiar. Half of it sounds like JFK, the other half exactly like Barack Obama. Okay. It's just like his appearance, it all feels so fake. That's great. He's old money, of course. Comes from a long line of Dutch merchants who originally settled in New York region. Once a wildly successful law office, rubs elbow with elites, both kindred and kind varieties alike. He's perfect in every way. That's why he's so unnerving. He's a child of Malkav. I must be blinded with some affliction, but whatever it is, he doesn't let it show. Hard not to wonder what he's hiding. I mean, he seems to absorb two different personalities there, or is putting them together to instead of his own personality. That's a thing. Celebrations are planned to last all week. Surely you will find the time. And I mean, JFK and Osama are, you know, relatively recent. So it's not like he had this personality beforehand. I pray I will, my good man. I pray I will. In case you need me to reach you. In case you need to reach me, in fact, the other way round. You know where to find me. Have a good one. He doesn't even register my presence before leaving. Sometimes I think they're all still hoping I will simply go away. Well, while they're going away, let's learn about kind. A derogatory way for vampires to refer to mortals. Comes from kindred and kind. Just remember that kind rhymes with swine, and you will get the picture. A clan Malkavian. The clan of the moon has earned its reputation as a place for total psychopaths. Yet, there is a twisted kind of reason to the madness of the children of Malkav. The condition seems to stem from gazing too deeply into the web of connections that govern the world. From learning too much, seeing too much, feeling too much. Blood is how they self-medicate. All Malkavians suffer a mental breakdown following their embrace. Often there is an exacerbation of a disorder, or disorders that are already present. But sometimes it's entirely new. Most described as unstable, there is no telling when a Malkavian will snap, or drop some unexpected wise insight. Called oracles, jesters, or visionaries if you're being nice. Madmen, liabilities, and lunatics if you're not. I don't know, the jester is particularly nice. As Carter drives away in his limousine, Kadir shakes his head.
You wanted to hear about which members of New York City's camera I dislike the most? Yes? He shoots me a knowing glance and smokes. Too bad. They're all my dear colleagues. I deeply respect every single one of them. Sure you do. Wouldn't want to blurt out something that could lock you out of Mr. Vanderween's legal services, would you? Asked his son. I do expect to find myself in need of a good defense attorney when my broke, incompetent, and foul-mouthed assistant finally pushes me over the edge. Rude. Do you still need me here? I still need to swing by St. Patrick's tonight. Don't worry, we're almost done. The prince is coming out. Ooh, do I get to see the prince? The captain is the last person to leave the ship, huh? There she is. Helena Panhard, the big kahuna. Someone I once knew would call her. That is alright. De facto ruler of New York City and self-professed patron of the arts. Good ear. A penny for your thoughts? Interesting. You should be pleased to hear the High Regent is resigned to our fate, my prince. Mr. Vanderwood is decidedly not. I suspect he will be too busy to join the festivities. Festivities? All the week, though. Excellent. She turns to me. Oh my god, she's acknowledging me? Miss Sawinski, weren't you supposed to accompany our good sheriff in his duties tonight? Oh, she's acknowledging me for failure to do so. There was an unexpected change of plans. Catherine Weiss is back in the city. Catherine is here? Now that's a welcome surprise. What does it have to do with you, Miss Sawinski? I took care of her paperwork. She came to me. She knew that I was the person to see. She said she didn't want to trouble you with all the paperwork regarding her arrival. Prince Hannard. It's all been taken care of. Kadir has already been informed of everything. That's certainly a nice gesture, but wait a minute now. Where exactly did you meet her? In a fast food restaurant, my prince. I see. Lion rubs her eyes. Catherine and her love for proletarian amusement. I suppose it will be a source of amusing anecdotes this week. If we want to avoid these situations in the future, it might be a good time to discuss offering Miss Sawinski an office of her own. We'll get to it eventually. There are more pressing matters at hand. The festivities start tomorrow, and there's still so much to be done. Make sure that the art hole is secure before leaving. Certainly, my prince. Have a good night. I mean, this is the art hole. Isn't this where Catherine was going to be staying? So shouldn't she be here or coming here soon? Good night, Kadir. Good night, Miss Sawinski. I'll talk about your work soon. Don't worry. Of course. Good night, Prince Bernard. The chauffeur escorts her to a limo. There's an awkward silence between me and Kadir until the car disappears around the corner. More pressing matters? Ha! Penny for your thoughts, Sheriff. I'm certain an image of a keeper of the Elysium struck in a fast food restaurant will linger in Prince Bernard's mind. You're far closer to your goal than you were a few minutes ago. Ah, good. I'm pretty sure I heard you say something to that effect a few times now. And I stand by my words. Rome wasn't built in a day, Julia. As a Camarilla loyalist, don't you think it sucks that the Ivory Tower is so hell-bent on showing disrespect to my clan? They're actually willing to make fools of themselves in the process. No, they're actually not us, them. We all had to endure our own hazing rituals, but yes, the current situation is not ideal. No, don't endure hazing rituals. Tell them to fuck off. You don't need to be hazed to be there. Just, you know, treat me as a human being. Or a vampire being in this case. Whatever. You need a hand closing up the Elysium? I'll manage. It's getting late. Better run. Some shadow in Chicago is probably impatient to get a copy of the reports you've given me. You pleased one master, now it's time to please the other. Yeah, here's the thing about working for two masters. Neither of them really think of you as their own. Not knowing how to reply, Kadir shrugs. I wave to him goodbye and head for the subway. And this is where we will end it. I mean, I will read this bit out. when I reach St. Patrick's Cathedral, I'm greeted by a voice that grates on me like teeth on tinfoil. But yes, we are not going to be doing this. We've seen the thing. We will be back for more of this later. Oh, is that the person in the club? Maybe? This is me. It's them, or is it just a stylized intent of what's going on here? These are the shadows, the things that I can see in it. What you can see in the shadows. Almost the name of a well-known TV show that involves vampires, but not quite. So, let's see if I've got the right ending up. No, I haven't got any ending up. Okay, hold on. Chunk. Chunk. No, don't get me. Thank you so very much for being here. Do appreciate each and every one of you. Whether live and in person or later on the VOD, the fact that you've spent some of your limited time here with me is just wonderful. Thanks for being here. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel, different game. We will be doing Days Gone tomorrow to continue on with that, and then Point and Click Tuesday will be up, where we will be doing more of this. So that'll be fun. I hope you join me here for that. But until then, I have been Richard, and this has been LMTDTMFFR, or say it with me now. Limited time offer of Vowels. And you all have fun.